The arrangement had seemed like a perfect solution. Two men without homes, given shelter through the good intentions of a local nonprofit. But in Massachusetts, where rain can drive people together under the same roof for weeks on end, proximity doesn't always breed companionship. Sometimes it breeds something far darker. John Hallett would later describe the fundamental incompatibility with his roommate in the starkest terms imaginable. Their minds, he said, operated on entirely different wavelengths. One focused on everyday concerns, the other was consumed by thoughts that would eventually lead to murder.
We were arguing about something, and I'm thinking, you're worried about this money, and I'm thinking about, killing you and putting you in the garbage.
The nonprofit organization that had placed these two strangers together had noble aspirations, getting vulnerable people off the streets and into stable housing. But noble aspirations without proper oversight can become deadly miscalculations. No one checked on the men. No caseworker monitored their adjustment, and when one of them simply vanished, no one noticed. For 5 long years, John Hallett carried his secret like a tumor in his chest. Eventually, that tumor became so large that he could no longer ignore it. He picked up the phone and dialed 911. The confession spilled out. He had killed his roommate. The body had been dismembered and disposed of years ago. The police officers who took the call must have exchanged skeptical glances. Without a body, without evidence, without even a missing persons report, what exactly were they supposed to do? John insisted it was true. He had left the corpse decomposing on the basement floor for months before cutting it into pieces and doing away with the pieces with the help of several public trash cans throughout the city. But confessions without corroboration are merely words, and the victim had no family pressing for answers. The case file was noted, then set aside, like a footnote. It might have ended there, another unsolved mystery in a country full of them, if not for a university professor whose expertise lay in the chemistry of death itself. He proposed something unusual, searching for the molecular fingerprints that human decomposition leaves behind, traces that might linger years after a body has been removed. This scent of death, adipocere, putrescine, cadaverine, the chemical signatures of mortality, rarely holds up in court, but desperation makes investigators creative. Armed with specialized equipment, they descended into John Hallett's basement, where concrete floors might still harbor secrets from 5 years past. The tests came back positive. Human decomposition had occurred in that basement. Now, finally, they had leverage. John Hallett was brought into the interrogation room.
Yes, please. All right, John, so we did speak on the phone, so I do kind of have an idea of why you're here. So knowing that, here's the deal. I want to go over some of your rights. Have you ever been through anything like that before?
Never.
Okay, have you ever been arrested before?
Never.
Let me get verify your information, make sure I got it right. Is it Jonathan or just John?
John.
Middle name?
Michael.
And Hallett.
Right.
Correct? What's your birthday? Your social security number? And your current address?
That's 3000 Joe McDonald Parkway. It's in Bellingham. Oh, number 17.
Number 17, okay. Bellingham, Washington?
Yes.
Okay.
The zip is 98225.
What's your highest level of education?
I finished a semester at DeVry Institute.
Okay.
I think they call it DeVry College now.
Okay, so you have your high school diploma.
Right.
And you finished 1 semester of college.
Roughly college.
Yeah. So it's fair to say you can read and write the English language?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to coming here, I know that you had a long night. Did you consume any prescription pills, alcohol, or drugs that would impair your ability to speak to me?
No.
Okay. Everything that we're conversating clearly, no issues understanding me. Sometimes I can be hard to understand.
I understand.
Awesome. Just ask Detective Whiskey. She's trying to talk to me. Right?
Right.
Okay, so prior to even talking to you, so from this moment on, I want to make sure that you know what your rights are, okay? So this is what's called the LaPorte County Prosecuting Attorney's Office Constitutional Rights Form. I'll give you this pen. It says, before we ask you any questions, it is our duty to advise you your constitutional rights. To indicate that you understand what your rights are, please place your initials on the line provided after each one is read and as they are read to you. So what I'll do is I'll go through each of your rights, and if you understand what it means, then you place your initials next to it. Don't scoot ahead of me. Don't go any further. I want to make sure that you understand them, okay? So the very first one says that you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Okay, if you understand that, go ahead and put your initials there for me. The next one says anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and put your initials there for me.
I say anything you say will be used against you by everyone.
This is, yeah. You have a pretty good understanding of that then. You have the right to talk with an attorney and have him or present with you before any questioning if you wish.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, put your initials there. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. You understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
So then here's what's called the waiver of rights statement. If you could read that out loud for me.
Prior to any questioning, I have read both statements of my constitutional rights and fully understand what my rights are. At this time, I am freely and voluntarily willing to answer questions without a lawyer present. No force, threats, or promises of any kind have been used by anyone to influence me to
waive.
Yeah,
Get waive.
to waive these rights. I am willing to talk to the police.
Are you willing to talk to us today?
Yes.
I mean, you came all the way out here, so I figured you are. Go ahead and sign that for me. All right. So on the phone, you told me that you were living with Paul Anthony Gonzalez.
Right.
Pen, too.
By any chance, did you remember what the address for that was?
No.
Okay, so it was on West 9th Street?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like 900 or 1,000 something, I think.
Okay, what color's the house?
Green.
If it's not green now, would you still be able to recognize it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a 1-story or 2-story?
So the
Different?
half of the basement is half underground, half above ground. That was white. So there's stairs, about 5 stairs going up to the main floor.
Okay.
And then there's another floor in the attic, but there's no access to it. There's just in the kitchen, there's a attic.
But if I'm looking at it from the front of the house, does it just look like a 1-story house?
To me, it looks like,
A 2-story because of
could
that?
be 2 or 3 stories.
Okay.
Depending on.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go through a couple more forms and then we're gonna take a drive, okay?
Okay.
But I wanna go through a couple more forms with you. Well, let's confirm the address before we go through one.
Yeah. You said either 9 or 1,000 is what you're thinking?
That's what yeah.
Do you remember any other numbers that might stick out and what that address could have been?
No.
Okay. How long were you there?
About 2.5 years.
Okay.
He was there about 2 years.
Okay.
So we moved in September.
September of...
So that would be 15,
Okay,
so that would be 2 years and 2 months for him.
okay.
And then I moved out, I believe in April.
So both of you moved in September of 2015,
Yeah,
and then you moved out, I'm sorry, can you say it again, please?
like April, I think it was,
Of,
2017.
okay.
March or April.
I won't hold you to it, you just gave me a ballpark at least, so thank you.
Yeah. We were both homeless, and housing opportunities got us a house. We didn't know each other,
Okay.
so we lived there 2 years.
So did you use the front door of this house when you went into it, or the back door?
Front door.
So the front door.
We use both doors. The
Okay.
front door, usually.
When you walked in the front door, I have to sneeze, I'm sorry. It probably at any point in time it's gonna happen, but, so when you walk in the front door, are you in the living room, or are you in like the,
Dining room?
It's
No, living room, yes.
okay,
Living room, dining room, kitchen. And when you walk in the door, my room was to the right, his was to the left.
okay. And so off the living room is what you're
Right.
saying? Okay. And then when you go in this living room, his is to the left, yours was to the right, but if you went forward, you said you were in a dining room and then you were in the kitchen?
Right.
And then is the kitchen where you went down to the basement is what you're saying?
The door to the basement is in the dining room to the left.
Okay, so then in the dining room, you would go into the basement
Right.
to the left. Okay. And then how did you get to the attic?
Can't get to the end. There's just a panel and ceiling in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
thank
there's
you.
no access to it. But I mean, you can see from the outside, it looks like, someone could live up there.
So there's only 2 bedrooms in this?
Mm-hmm.
The yours was to the right? Where was the bathroom at?
Right past my room, on the right.
So down that light, is it a hallway that went to your room?
No, it's still the living room.
So the room's off of the living room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both bedrooms are off the living room, and the bathroom's off the living room.
Okay, thank you. for
I missed it.
helping me
Is the basement finished or unfinished?
The basement's unfinished.
Okay. Does it have a concrete floor, or is it like a
Concrete.
floor? Is it concrete?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next thing we'd like to do is get a swab of your mouth.
Okay.
Okay, but we would need to go over this. These forms get pretty long. There's going to be a couple of them today. Okay. So this is what's called the consent to search form. This is kind of the same thing as what we just went over, but this is actually giving consent to do the swab itself. Okay, so we'll go through the same thing. I'll go over each of your rights. So it is September 7th, 2020 at 8:30 in the morning at 1201 East Michigan Boulevard. I'm Detective Lieutenant Anna Painter, located at the Michigan City Police Department. So we'll go over your rights. Says that I'm gonna have to do it. This one I can't do upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Very first one says you have the right to require that a search warrant be obtained before any search of your property. If you understand that, put your initials there. You have the right to refuse to consent to a warrantless search. You have the right to talk with a lawyer before giving consent to such a search. You have the right to have a lawyer appointed for you if you cannot afford one. And that last one is about juveniles, we'll just skip it. So the next one is what's called the waiver and consent. If you could read that out loud for me.
I, John Hallett, have read the statement of my rights above and understand what my rights are. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I consent to a warrantless search by officers of Michigan City Police Department of the following described property.
And it's going to say person and what's called 2 buccal swabs, which is basically a fancy word for mouth.
Person 2 buckle swabs located at 1201 East Michigan Boulevard. I authorize these officers to seize my article of property which they consider evidence. I understand and know what I am doing. No promise or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me.
So let me, you understand all of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what we would like to do is take you for a drive. We'll see if we can't track down this house, okay?
Yeah.
All right?
And can I use the bathroom?
Absolutely. Is that the end of the hall here?
Okay.
To the right. Gonzalez patted him down. So,
I was thinking about that.
yeah, we don't need to do that. Oh, shoot. It helps let them do this one. It's too early for this.
I gave you the stuff,
Oh,
though.
thank you.
You got gloves? Because I did not bring any.
I usually
Or just have him do it.
Make them do it.
Yeah, okay.
I thought about doing that, some other one, I'm gonna verify the address.
As soon as you said that, it made perfect sense to me.
His bags are in the lobby, that was washing in the house every morning too.
Okay. I didn't grab my book because I had like so much stuff written in it, so I just grabbed a fresh pad of paper. Thinking I'd be all squared away.
No pen.
Well, yeah, so in my book I have everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I came in here and I was like, well, I don't have a pen. And then I just grabbed a pencil and I was like, I can't sign things with a pencil.
Yeah.
We're just not on it today.
Mm-hmm. I think your day's going on right now. It's for the different direction.
Driving. I hope so because like I need to like leave today to go get gas in the car. I mean, not that I can't like function and get by if you needed me to drive, but
Careful.
I do need to go and get gas today.
Yeah.
But we'll go.
Wash them up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, you need them to come back in here anyways.
Wow.
When we get ready to leave,
Mm-hmm.
I would turn this off, and then when we get to the car, turn it on, so that you like reset your,
Oh,
so we can burn a couple different discs.
yeah, I guess you're like, this is the first ID.
Yeah.
This is the,
Do like a break,
yeah,
so this won't be so long.
yeah, I agree.
Because you can actually just burn this interview off the iRecord and call that like the first disc, and then do body cam of the drive as another disc.
Better? All right. Now see, we'll get that swab in your mouth before we head out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So in here is an unopened, they're like 2 Q-tips with long handles. If you could go ahead and open that up for me. Take those Q-tips and inside your cheek, just start swabbing your cheeks, okay? Get them nice and reliable. Where'd you go to high school at?
Hobart, Indiana.
Hobart?
Was there only one in there?
There's
Just
2.
two.
Oh.
Oh, you do both at the same
You
time?
can do them both at the same time if you want.
That doesn't-
And kill 2 birds with 1 stone instead of having them.
All right.
There you go. Or if you want, put them both on one side and do this, and then put them over there.
Probably good,
But yeah,
Mhm.
I would think that you got it down packed.
And then,
face down.
Put them in there.
so after Hobart, but then I went to, I stayed out my junior year because I had jaw surgery. It's supposed to be done at the beginning of summer, but there's problems, so they started in September. So I stayed out that year. Then I went back for a semester. Then I did some credits at Maryville Night School, and then I went to Portage Adult to finish up got my diploma from there.
What happened to your leg?
Diabetes, homeless, developed foot ulcers, got infected, big toe died, cut that off. Then a couple months later, they cut off the front half of the foot. And a couple months later, they cut off the
How far up does it go?
below the knee.
Below the knee? Okay. So you have some pretty good mobility then?
Yeah, as long as there's no sores or
You
anything.
do stairs and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
When was the last one you said? Like the last surgery from and all?
Oh, this is all when I was, I think 45, 46. 45, I think right before I turned 46.
I didn't do the math. How old are you now?
Yeah.
53.
Okay. So it's been a couple of years, so you're learning to adjust to it, yeah.
Oh yeah, as soon as I put the leg on, I go walk for it.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna have you, do you have your stuff? Or do you need to go?
I've got my keys.
Okay.
Whatnot.
We'll head out.
Anything?
And so you can help us out. Showing us where this is. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have you follow her out so that we're not all cribbed in this ring together. I'll take care of the room.
Thank you. Hey,
Oh, the light.
oh, you got the light turned on. Yeah, the motion activated. Are you cold?
No, I'm all right.
Mm.
I know that's why I was looking at cracked. It got cold in here.
All right. More forms. I'm gonna go through another one real fast because of the nature of what you're claiming. We want to make sure that you're providing consent for us to go into the house and collect evidence and things like that. Okay, so that's something you'd be willing to do? Well, it's not just you, it's also the people that are currently living there. So, but we want to make sure that you're on your side, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the same thing. It's currently September 7th, 2022. It is 9:30.
It's like a two.
It's a dash right there.
Oh,
It's 9:32 in the morning at 1201 East Michigan Boulevard. Detective Lieutenant Anna Painter at the Michigan City Police Department says that you have the right to require that a search warrant be obtained before any search of your property. You have the right to refuse consent to a warrantless search. You have the right to talk with a lawyer before giving consent to such a search. You have the right to have a lawyer appointed for you if you can afford one. And then if you can read that out loud for me.
I, John Helen, have read the statement of my rights above and understand what my rights are. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I consent to a warrantless search by officers of the Michigan City Police Department of the following described property.
It says former residence. It's my handwriting.
Okay. Former residence located at 1036 West 9th Street, Michigan City, Indiana. I authorize those officers to
Seize.
seize any articles of property which they may consider evidence. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about November 25th, 2017. How did that day start for you?
Again, the November?
You said November 25th?
Yeah.
You said it was the day after Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
How confident are you it was the day after Thanksgiving?
Very.
Okay. What did you do for Thanksgiving?
Nothing.
Were you guys together?
No.
No. Did he go with family or something?
I don't know.
Was Paul blind?
No.
He was not. Was he sick?
The muscular dystrophy.
What was he like? I know that muscular dystrophy is a very debilitating disease. Was he
His legs were weak.
okay? But other than that, he was healthy
Yeah,
at the time.
he do push-ups.
Okay. Was he in a wheelchair?
No.
No. He was walking.
Yeah.
Did he use a walker?
Sometimes he tried different things, walkers, different kinds of crutches. For the forearm crutches he tried, but he didn't. He had a cane. He had a white cane that he always used.
Okay.
Everyone used to compliment his cane because it had different stickers on it.
Oh, okay. All right. So, you were upset with him about the mail, and that you thought he was trying to get you kicked out of your apartment. That's what you told me on the phone.
Right.
Okay. So, what was the final straw?
I put mail in there to. I figured that that the same pieces of mail were being put in there. So I don't know why he was either doing that to test me or he was doing it to cover up other mail missing. I don't know. But then I got the idea, so I put mail in there. I got the mail, and then I put it back in there to see if he would give me my mail.
Okay.
And he took it. And that was the final.
Did you confront him about that?
No.
Okay. What did you do?
I was just in my room, just angry, and that at night I would just start pounding. So my bed is here, and my bedroom door is here. I was pounding the door, and making extremely loud sounds throughout the night. So then he got up like at 5 o'clock in the morning. I heard him, and then I got up, and then. I had one of my crutches with me because I thought I didn't want to try to push him or contact him with my body. I wanted some distance. Because one of the things he said, because he was in the karate, and he said if he ever punched me in the nose, he would kill me. But I think he believes that myth about if you hit the nose, it'll drive the nose bone into the brain, which is a myth.
Right.
It's cartilage and it can't go into the brain.
Yeah.
But I think that he believed that. So, so I had one crutch, and then he went to the bathroom. He came out. Then I came out like I was going to the bathroom. He said, "What was that noise?" I said, "I don't know." And then he turned out the bathroom light like angrily. And then he started walking. Now it's dark, and he's walking back through the bedroom. So I estimated his height, and I took the crutch with the arm, the shoulder piece and the arm, and then so you could go like this with it, like a long arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would have some power, but it didn't have any power. So it just had like a smacking effect. It hit his arm, but then I continued to push, and he fell over.
Was this in the hallway?
No, the dining room.
In the dining room?
The living room, between our bedrooms.
Okay.
That separates from the living room.
Okay.
'Cause I saw something where so many crimes happen right there. They call it the foyer. right in the door. That's right where it happened, right in front of the door, basically.
Okay.
Because you both had just used the bathroom and had just came out, so you're like
Yeah, he
right in
just
that
used the
living room main area right there.
Yeah, he just used the bathroom. I acted like I was going to.
Okay.
And then he turned the light out so then it was dark. And he had also, we would do this thing where one of us would want the blinds open, one of the blinds closed, and so we would alternate opening and closing the blinds.
Oh, so you're tit for tat a little bit?
Yeah, so that's the one. And then so he had opened the living room blind. And so after I hit him with the crutch and knocked him over, and he's sitting on the ground, I went and turned the light on in the living room, and then I walked over and I shut the blinds so no one could see. And then he said, "You hit me with your crutch." And he's sitting on the floor. He can't just get up. So he has to scoot and like get onto a chair, then get up. And then so I'm standing like over him, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he started like he's gonna get up, and I kind of leaned in like I was gonna hit him again. He said, "Don't hit me with that thing." I said, "No, I'm not gonna." And then I said, "You okay? Do you need an ambulance?" He's like, "No." And so then he starts to scoot up again, and then I take the crutch and I hit him a couple of times, but again, it's just smacking. It's not hurting. It's not. There's no power in it, which I thought there would be some.
Where are you hitting him?
Like in the back, upper back, leg.
So is he sitting like Indian style on the floor or something?
No, he's got his legs straight out in front of him. And he's scooting. So his back is toward the front wall of the house.
Okay.
And he's scooting this way.
Towards the dining room?
Yeah. And I'm standing next to him on this side. And so
he's scooting away from you?
Perpendicular. I'm standing here, he's here, and he's scooting this way. So I think the crutch hit him this way.
Okay.
And then he reaches up and he grabs the crutch. And now he's leaning all the way back. Now he's laying on his back and he's got the crutch like this. And so I then grab the crutch with one hand and I come over in a position where I got like my left knee either on him or over him. And then my right leg is sticking out. I'm familiar with this position because I have some fighting experience. So this is the common position. And then I moved the crutch up so I could get a clear shot. And I threw 3 straight punches down to his face and jaw area. And as I was hitting him, his head was bouncing off the floor. And then I knew I had him, so the 4th punch, I threw a hook to knock him out for sure.
What do you mean a hook?
Hook it this way instead of a straight down.
So you were hitting him face down, or you were hitting straight down?
Three, boom, boom, boom.
And his head's bouncing off the floor?
Right, and then the 4th one was a hook from the side.
Did that knock him out, or?
Well, yeah, I wanted to make sure he was going to be out. So that's what I did.
Was he bleeding at that point?
He had to have been, based on, after, because what appeared to happen with the hook is that blood had splattered across the wall in that pattern. So, I didn't notice that at the time.
This position that you're showing me, where was this leg?
My knee was either on him or over him.
Over him where?
His chest area.
On his body. So are you telling me like this way it was on him?
Yeah.
So if he's laying on the ground, your leg is this way on his chest?
So
and then this leg would be straight out?
Yeah.
On the ground?
Yeah. It's perpendicular basically.
So all the weight of your body is on this knee on top of him?
I can either put it, I don't remember if I put it all the way on the weight, or because I can hold that position and it's just as effective because someone can't get up.
So when you're hitting him, so your knee is on the ground is on him like this, so are you looking at him this way to be able to strike him?
Yes, he's
Okay.
got the crutch and he's got crutch up like this because he's grabbed, and I grabbed the crutch and moved it back so his face is right here.
Okay.
And that's when I threw the 3 punches. And
So was he still hanging onto that crutch?
at some point he let go.
Okay.
As he's,
When the hits were coming?
yes.
Okay.
Then I choked him with my thumbs and the carotids and put all my weight down, leaning forward into his throat there.
Was he awake or asleep? Or was he?
Oh, he was out, yeah.
Down? How long did you choke him for?
I don't know. But, I mean, you can see the whole process taking place, where it turns red and then turns purple and the eyes just go dead. And then there seemed to be this, almost like this glow to him that just felt this sense of reverence and spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. So that's when I felt because he was Catholic too, I felt the need to pray that God accept him into heaven, kind of like the last rites or something like that. It was just that was the feeling. I mean, I wasn't expecting any of this,
Mm-hmm. And all that happened right there in the living room?
Yeah, right by just a few feet from the front of the house there.
And then what did you do?
Then I at some point his arms also came up like this. So I stepped back to his arms clear. I didn't know if he was, that was just his nervous system. And then, and I knew absolutely he was dead from my perspective. Then I got up, then I walked over right to my bedroom and sat down. And I could see him as I'm sitting on the bed, I could see him through my doorway. And I kind of shut my door so I didn't have to look at him, and I just sat there for a while, having the thought that he might actually get up. And also during the choking, I did have the thought that, because I had been telling myself this has to be absolute. There can't be any hesitation. There's no. This is everything has to be absolute. There can't be any holding back. Mm-hmm. So as I was choking him, I did have the thought of stop. The thought came to me stopping. I said, no, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Mm-hmm. There's no option.
So when you hit him for the very first time with that crutch, your intent was to just kill him?
No, not with the crutch.
Okay. No, I mean from the get-go. That was the whole start of from the very beginning to the end. That was the purpose of what you were doing?
Well, yeah, just to knock him down from a distance without. That was the first step that I come up with. And I had thought previously that if we were arguing about something, and I'm thinking, you're worried about this money, and I'm thinking about, killing you and putting you in the garbage, and throwing your body away. Mm-hmm. This is what this is the thoughts that are crossing my mind, mm-hmm. And he's worried about other,
$25
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So you've been planning that for a while then?
Not planning, but I thought about it, Okay.
So
You knew what you had to do.
Well, that's what I came up with. And then that morning when he went to the bathroom, I got up and got my crutch, and I was sitting by my door waiting for him to come out. And I had the thought, is this really going to happen? Or am I really going to do this? That was the last thought I had before switching over into just completing the objective.
And you said that you knew there was no turning back. Once you started it, you knew you had to finish it?
Yeah, that was the pre-thought and the thought.
During.
Yeah.
How did you know he was dead? You made the comment that once you knew he was dead.
Well, he went through the process, turning red, turning purple, then the eyes going dead, and then he, like, there was some spiritual presence that something happened. Like I said, like it was glowing, and there was this sense of reverence.
He stopped moving, is what you're saying?
Oh, he
Yeah.
stopped moving way past,
Okay.
But I had heard someone say that that people don't understand that you got to choke someone for a long time, like 10 minutes or something, because they could.
Do you think that's how long you choked him?
I'm not sure. I don't know about the time. I just made sure that I had as much weight as I could, and my thumbs with it pressing into the carotids and trying to pull with the fingers this way to just as much. Just to make sure there's no blood flow.
Did you have to research that to do that, or was that something that you just thought that would work?
Well, I knew about jiu-jitsu with chokeholds, the difference between a breath choke and a blood choke, just the, like the sleeper hold, stuff like that. That's stuff I heard from watching other programs or whatever.
Okay.
TV.
So he was in the living room for a while. How long do you think you left him in the living room?
Not sure. I went to the bathroom, and I had the thought to call the police just right then. And then I thought, well, I just want to clean my hands because I have blood on my hands. Then I seen my shirt, and I thought, well, I just want to clean my shirt. And then I just wanted to clean up the blood that was on the floor. So I can't remember if I started cleaning the blood first on the floor, or if I moved him into the bedroom first. But
Where did the blood come from?
back of his head.
From hitting.
Mm-hmm.
When you
And
were
also,
striking him
there was also a tooth was knocked out, so there was some blood in the mouth.
from his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know a tooth came out?
I found it when I was cleaning it up.
How'd the blood get on your shirt, do you think?
Just a splatter, I think, from the mouth.
So was it like drips, or was it like...
Yeah, it was just like spots.
Kind of shirt was it?
White t-shirt.
Anything on it?
Hmm?
Did it have any designs on it? Or...
No, just a plain white shirt. White t-shirt.
So you cleaned your hands first?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that in the bathroom, or?
Yeah, right there's the bathroom.
Okay. What'd you do with your shirt?
I think I washed it and came back and it still had dry blood spots all over it, so I threw it away.
Okay. And then what did you do, Paul?
So I dragged him into his room.
Is this the same day still?
Oh yeah.
Wait, okay, just want to make sure I'm following.
Yeah, I didn't leave him out all day or anything. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I think it was before 7 that I moved him into his room and then cleaned up the floor.
Where'd you put him in his room?
His room was packed with stuff, so I had just enough room to pull him into the room and just to close the door.
So was he laying on the floor then?
Yeah.
What kind of floor did you guys have? Carpet, tile?
It's wood.
Wood floor? Okay. So just as you enter the room, did he have anything on the floor? Did he have like an area rug or anything?
There might have been some stuff. I don't know. I just remember his room was packed, so I didn't have just enough room to pull him in.
Okay. And how long did you leave him there?
I think a day or two,
Okay.
maybe 3. Because I remember, I believe that when the cops came looking for him, he was in the room still.
Okay. How many times did the cops come?
Once. Well, they might have came twice and I didn't answer the first time.
Okay.
But then I knew I had to answer when they were come back. You know, they were being persistent. I was like, and that's when I went to the door.
So when you went to the door, do you think that he was in the room or
Yeah,
somewhere
I think
else?
so. He was in the room.
Okay.
That's why I thought I better move him because if they come back or if anyone could see them.
Was the it was November, so it would have been cold. Was the heat on?
Yeah,
Where'd you guys keep the temperature at?
about 70.
Okay.
But that side room had no heat, so it was cold in that side room.
Okay.
At one point, it did warm up to like 50 degrees, and there was definitely a strong smell.
Okay.
Side room meaning his room?
Now the side room to the basement.
So before we jump ahead, so after he was in that bedroom, what made you decide to move on?
The people were coming and going looking for him. So there was just a matter of time before they were looking in his room. That's when I drug him down to the basement. And there was another pool of blood in the bedroom from his head.
Mm-hmm. Was there a smell during that time period too?
No smell.
What was his appearance when you finally drug him down to the basement?
He just looked normal.
Looked normal.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what did you do when you drug him down to the basement?
Well, I put him on a blanket, and then so it would slide, and then and it appeared that the more blood came from the back of his head and went through the blanket. So I think it was like a streak. And then I drug him down the stairs and when I got to that side door in the basement, the door can't open all the way because there's plumbing. So it can only open, I don't know, so maybe 2 feet, I would say that it opens. So to get him in there, I had to pull his feet in first, and then I had to grab his arms and pull him forward to like roll his body into the, I couldn't just drag him straight or couldn't lift him. So that's how I was able to get him into that side room in the basement.
So from his bedroom, you put him onto a blanket.
Yeah.
And then you drug him to the stairs?
Drag him downstairs.
Did you drug him? Were you first downstairs or was he first downstairs?
Me first.
So you went down each step and then as you're going down, you're drugging him?
Right.
Okay. Did he fall at all or anything like that?
Well, he's laying on his back.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just body going down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you drug him into that side room.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did you do with him?
I put him in, so if you go into that side room, there's the doors all the way to the very right of that room. So I put him at the left, all the way as far as I could move him so that someone came in, they might, just looked in, they might not see him over here. And I wrapped a blanket around him so you couldn't, nothing was exposed.
What kind of blanket was it?
I don't remember.
Was it your blanket or his blanket?
His.
His.
I had them on blankets.
How long did you leave him in that room?
I don't. In that room, 56 days.
How do you know that?
Because I kept track. I knew that they, I believe, I remembered the day that I threw him away, and then I used to say, from the time, okay, it's been this many days since that happened, this many days since I threw him away. But
What day did you throw them away?
I think it was, and I mean, I knew at the beginning, but then well, you know, let's stop counting that way. But I think it was the 20th or 21st,
Of what month?
January.
January. Okay. So you left them in there for 56 days. What made you decide to finally move them?
Well, at one point I got you remember I told you about the public housing?
Mm-hmm.
So I got the public housing, and I was going to move, but he was still down there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and took all his stuff, and I put it down into that room. And I closed the door, and I thought, well, I'll move, and then eventually they're open that door and find them. So I got how many days, you know, that until they find them. But that I wasn't able to move because you can't have, you know, you have to get out of the lease before you can start the public house.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't move when I thought on that one. So as that, but the 56 days, I knew I had to get rid of him. It's like people knew. I mean, there was someone drove by and said, "You killed that man. You know you did it." And I was like, well, they know.
Mm-hmm.
Then the police are going to know. And because there was a sheriff, I think there was a sheriff coming around too, or something. I talked to him, and he was saying, "You're supposed to be in the house." I said, "Yeah, I'm living here. I'm supposed to be in the house." So I gave him my name. And so I'd gone down there a number of times thinking how I would, you know, get rid of them. And I thought at one point to get rid of some of the evidence with the head trauma, that I would cut his head off
Mm-hmm.
and throw it away. That would get rid of some of the evidence.
Okay.
But so I thought they use it in butchering like a wire saw.
Okay.
I thought you could remove the head with that. So I went to the hardware store and I bought a PVC wire saw. I thought that would have the same effect, but it didn't. I tried it and it didn't even cut the skin. It did nothing.
What hardware store did you go to?
I think it was Menards. Pretty sure it was Menards. I'm trying to think. Do they have Menards in Michigan City?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was Menards. So then I had a smaller hacksaw, and I thought, well, maybe, you know, I could go down there and use that. And then I'd get down there and I would think, oh, no, there's no way. There's no way this, you know, that's the major job. So eventually I got a regular hacksaw, and I bought extra blades in case it broke. The blade broke while I was doing this. Because I felt it's like it's got to be all or nothing, you know, you gotta do this. So, and then I bought like shower liners to lay down on the floor. And then I bought construction garbage bags. And so then I finally, the night before the garbage was coming, and when someone that drove by and said that, you know, that you killed that man, I was like, well, and the sheriff was coming on. I was like, well, I guess I have to do it. So I got it all together, put it down there, went down there, spread out the sheets in the hacksaw, and the hacksaw just went right through everything like there was nothing. I mean, there was a couple times where the skin was like twisted. I was trying to remove an arm, And I thought I would twist it and then cut that. It was hard to cut. So but other than that, I went through everything like nothing. And then so I just put the body in different piles, thinking I would, divide the weight. Like the thigh, the torso was the heaviest. I didn't want to cut through the digestive system, but I wanted to reduce it to the torso as small as I could because it was going to be the heaviest. So I cut it at the hips, high on the hips, and then I cut it right above the digestive system as I knew it. And so I cut through the chest, through the lungs and the heart. And then that torso was the heaviest piece. And so then I divided it, I believe it was 5 bags. And then I took each bag, and then I would put that bag inside of another bag, and that bag inside of another bag. So each separate had 4 or 5 bags. So that my thought was if it was smashed or cut open, you wouldn't reveal anything because there'd be multiple bags.
Okay.
And then I took everything out, and the next morning, I had timed out the garbage. And when I had thrown away some of his stuff, I made one of the garbage cans was really, really heavy. And I watched to see with the garbage truck if it could handle that. And it took it very easily. So I knew it would be able to handle his weight. So then I took everything out, and when I went to put it in the garbage, the torso, as I was holding it up, I couldn't get up over into the garbage can, and the weight on my prosthetic came out, and I fell over. So I'm laying on the ground with the torso. Then I tried a couple more times, I couldn't lift it. And then I figured out that I could lay the garbage can down, slide the torso into the garbage can, and then lift the garbage can up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put everything out to the front. And the garbage man came. And I washed them, and they loaded it up and took them away.
So the room that you put him in, you said it was not heated?
No.
It was cold down there?
Yeah.
What was his body like when you went down there? On the 56th day, what was his body like? Describe it to me.
The only thing noticeable was the mouth area, the bacteria that had away his mouth area, so his teeth were more exposed.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only noticeable thing.
What about his coloration? What?
Normal. I mean, he had some discoloration in the face. I can't remember what colors, but nothing extreme, really.
Was he stiff? Was he loose?
He wasn't really stiff or loose. He was just, somewhere in between. It wasn't as loose as unfortunately, but he wasn't stiff either. I thought, remorse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Warm to the touch, cold to the touch?
No, I don't think I ever touched his skin with my skin. So I always wore some kind of gloves. I don't remember what kind of gloves I wore, but I know.
What was he wearing?
He was wearing pants, like pajama, like sweatpants, I think it was, and a t-shirt.
So after you got him loaded into the bags, what did you do with that room?
The room. So there was more blood again from his head.
Mm-hmm.
Had created like a puddle, and then the puddle had flowed into there's different like grooves in the floor in those spots. And so I worked on removing. I took a wire brush and worked on removing all the dried blood. Just kept working, and then I took it. There's another tool that's used for cement. It's kind of like sandpaper for cement, only it's got a handle and it's got grooves on it, and work it to take down the layers of cement. And I had also mopped down there, and I figured the blood probably went in this one groove, so it was probably down in this one groove. And I painted over that with spray paint. But then that paint looked new compared to the rest. So then I went and got other paint and I tried to match it, but I went way darker than there was. And that actually ruined the paint. Kind of turned it chalky because I added too much color trying to match the color. But I used that, so I painted that over where he was, and that was like, it's almost like mud, almost pink. And then, so I just painted over that section where his body had laid. And then I'd taken down, there's like loose chips of paint everywhere, and I'd cleaned it down and brushed it down, and I looked for drops of blood anywhere. Trying to wire brush that. And then as I was mopping one time down there, I accidentally knocked the mop bucket over. So then I had to mop up all that excess water. There's also dirt that had come in slowly, like dirt had come in, it seemed like for years, and there was like a lot of dirt just as you step in the door, and I swept it all up and put it in I got a bucket of dirt, so I cleaned that all up. Just tossed that out in the backyard. And there were some old shovels and rakes down there. They're all rusted. I threw those away.
What'd you do with the hacksaw?
I threw everything away. I wrapped everything up. Oh, and also when I put stuff in the garbage bags, I also put pillows in there to round it out, so there would be no sign that it looked like anything other than around garbage.
Where'd you get the pillows from?
He had a bunch of pillows, and it used maybe a blanket or something, in addition to the shower liners.
Did you buy all that equipment on the same day?
Equipment.
Well, like the
Shower
liner, the hacksaw, blades. You said you had the hacksaw already?
Yeah, well, no, I had to buy the hacksaw.
Okay.
And then I bought, at a separate time, I bought the blades.
Okay.
Just because I thought that if they were to break, then I would be stuck.
Mm-hmm. What else did you buy on that day that you bought the hacksaw?
I don't remember buying like one big load like that.
Okay.
So you had to go to the store a few times
Yeah,
to buy the stuff that you were
Yeah.
thinking of as it was going along?
yeah. And I know about 2 different boxes of those construction garbage bags.
And you used your Direct Express card to purchase those, or did you use cash?
I don't remember. I think I used cash one time, and then, but I say like the shower liners, I buy those from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But then I like also bought food with my food stamp card. You know, trying to keep it separate, but then not realizing that I think that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to pay cash for it so there wouldn't be. But then I think the hacksaw or something, or the blades had to be on card. I didn't have a choice for whatever it was. If you can't, you got less than $20 on your card, you can't take off $20, get cash off the card. I think that's might have been the situation.
So why now?
Because the August was the worst month of my life. I just went through absolute hell with my neighbors. I mean, I don't know if I told you this about my neighbors, all the stuff I went through.
Tell me again.
Started off, my neighbor, next door neighbor, her name's Kathy Shear. And she started telling people, well, from the time I moved in, I was calling them lying pieces of shit. The guy that lived underneath me and her cat. And it's just unbelievable, the lies they would tell about. And so it seemed like every time I called them that, they would push back with more lies. Mm-hmm. And then I would push back, call them liars, and I would push back with the lies. So eventually she started claiming that I slapped her. Then she started claiming I hit her in the forehead. She said I kicked her. I tried to push her down the stairs. Well, I pushed her down the stairs. She said, see how I just made that statement? Mm-hmm. That's one of the things they've been doing over August. Every time I said that I used the I, mm-hmm. they would say, oh, he said he did it. Mm-hmm. But that's not what I'm saying.
You're saying what they said.
Right.
Okay.
But because they get what I say and they say, oh, he said it. Mm-hmm. He admitted it. And so that's one of the things they've been doing. So I did all this thing, pushed her down the shit. I pushed her down the stairs. I haven't touched her. Never touched her. Never did anything to her. Or never hurt her. And then she said I humped her. Then she said I raped her. Then she said I raped her in different ways. I think she found out I had said something about having erectile dysfunction. So then she changed it to, I forget what it was, either raped her with fingers or then she went back to hump. And it was, then she was saying something about a dildo, and it just got crazy. So eventually she maxed out every lie that she could get. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm telling her, you call the police, but she don't want to call the police. And this is like a regular thing with her going around just telling people. Then she started claiming she had injuries. That was her proof. And then I said that by the end of this, she's either going to beat the crap out of herself or she's going to get someone else to beat the crap out of her and claim that I did that. So she maxed out her lies about herself. That's when things, I could handle all that. But that's when things got unbelievable. Because at the same, she formed an alliance with the guy that lived underneath me. And during this whole 6 months, this guy had been going around the back of the building and standing outside my bedroom window and claiming that he could see me in my bedroom window doing something sexual. He would go out there day and night. And he would tell everyone that he could see me doing something sexual in my window. And whoever he could get to go back there with him, he said, see? You see him? See? See? And of course most people say no. But some people would say, yeah, I see him. Or yeah, I'll help you. Or, and then he would tell them to call the police. All right, now. So they formed an alliance on July 23rd. Kathy in 18 and this guy in 3. That night, they went and got this kid who, I don't know if he's autistic or he has seems to have some type of developmental problems. He took him out there, back of the building, outside my bedroom window, I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And he starts telling him all this stuff. I could hear him out there. I'm in the bathroom sitting on the toilet, I could hear this. And this kid just starts screaming, sick, sick, as if he's seeing something. Then he calls Kathy. Kathy goes down, and she says, yeah, I see him too. So that kid eventually, so that was their first, like, together of their alliance to manipulating someone. Later on, they would get that kid, convince that kid that I had done something sexual to him. So what I heard is someone was asking him, the mother, about the kid, and he wasn't home, so he says, get him on the phone. So she calls him, gets him on the speakerphone. I'm out on my balcony, I'm listening to all this. And he says, John Hallett fucked me in my butt. That's what he said. And that's when I was in shock. And he kept saying that. And then that's when I called the police to let them know that there's a kid saying that. I thought for sure the police would get involved. But they wouldn't get involved unless the parents called. And also right before this, there was another kid over there, smaller kid, that I heard had something that knocked his teeth out. They were saying Hallett knocked his teeth out. So that's then, whenever I would say something, he would, Kathy would go down there and tell him whatever I said, and then he would change his story. And whatever you tell this kid that happened to him, he will say that's what happened to me. He will scream like he didn't, like he's just had this horrible experience just from people telling him that's what happened to you. And so one of the things that's been going on this whole time is they make him scream all the time. Hallett molested me. Hallett molested, that was one of the things going. Then I caught Kathy. She's walking around, so these little kids are playing. She said, did Hallett touch your butt? Did Hallett touch your butt? Like in this really positive, upbeat tone, and the kid would just repeat back, Hallett touched my butt. Hallett touched my butt. And then that blew my mind. And then I went to the doctors, and I hear her in the hallway talking to kids, saying, did Hallett touch your butt? And then I went to the laundry, and I heard it. And those kids walked around, Hallett touched my butt. And it's like a big joke the first time they say it, but then when people hear them, what did you say? And now they repeat it. Then it gets more serious, and the kid starts freaking out. That gets more serious, and then they start crying, and then then they think something happened to them. And then so that's been going. And so then they got another kid. Oh, there was just some guy. He would come around. He raped my daughter. And the guy would, this guy would come around like on a daily basis. Now there's another guy. So you got these guys underneath me lying about me. You got Kathy lying about me. The original guy in 3, he left, and these other guys moved in, and they took over. And they were lying even worse than he was. Then I found that the mother of the kid was lying to me. I caught her a couple times. She would say, Hallett's after you. And the kids would freak out, She'd say, Hallett's after you. I couldn't believe she was saying that. But then I found out she was manipulating them even more than... Whenever they would change their story, like the first time they would tell the story, they'd say, Kathy stuck a dildo up my butt. And then she would work on them so they stopped saying that. Or they would tell her that Hallett told you to say that. So that they would say, Kathy did something to me, and then they would say, but Hallett told me to say Kathy did that to me. And so there was this constant manipulation of the kids, constant lying. Then there was another kid, then they tried to claim I gave him a basketball. And this other kid, first they said Kathy gave him the basketball, but said it was from John Hallett. But it's just insanity. And then there was another kid. He claimed that I think he said it was a softball that he got for me, but someone else, Kathy, had given it to him and said it was from John Hallett. And so then that kid, and then that mother started listening to that mother manipulate that kid until he stopped saying all the stuff about someone else, and it was all John Hallett, all John Hallett. And so that kid's now walking around saying Hallett raped me. And all this time they would people would hear this and they would chant molester, molester, and all this stuff, and that was the hell on earth. That I was like, well, I can't live like this. Anything would be better. Spending my life in prison would be better than this. Then, I can't live like it.
So you'd rather go to prison for murder than be accused of?
The constant accusations and everyone believing the constant accusation. And just the fact someone called me a molester when I've never done anything like it. I mean, that's the worst thing, you can call somebody. But yeah, I went to Bellingham police. I told them about the murder. I told them about the neighbors. And then I thought they could, either they would arrest me, or while they were working on the case, I would just stay there and till they arrest me for trespassing, and then I would just stay incarcerated and never get out. But the cop, he told me that, first of all, if you trespass, we'll just give you a citation. And we got like hardcore criminals being released because we don't have the staff to hold them. And so that that's not going to happen. That's all it's going to. So then I'm stuck now dealing with my neighbors again at that point. And they're stalking.
Maybe if you get on the bus, did somebody, you're just done,
But yeah, I couldn't, it's constant. And the guys down the street, they're drug dealers, and they're constantly saying, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And they're constantly lying and just twisting everything I say. There's one guy down there, he doesn't live down there, but he comes to there, and he actually listens to everything I say, and he's constantly straightening them out about what I said. And he was one guy down there trying to be objective. This is one of the reasons why I kept talking. And so...
Did you ever tell anybody what you did to Paul?
The first time I ever told anyone, when those neighbors were saying all this stuff about me, one of the things the kid was saying about me was that Hallett said he was going to F me up if I called the police. Never said anything. Never spoke a word to him at that point. And I said, I wouldn't F up anybody. And then I thought, well, actually, I guess I did F up somebody. Okay, now another thing that was happening, they had all these stories off the internet about raping of prostitutes and just all the sick, disgusting stories that you can't even imagine all the stuff they say. Some pooping in people's mouths. I mean, it's just, they had stories on top of stories using my feet to molest people. I mean, it's endless, these stories. But there was one story that was true. They said I killed somebody, hid him in the basement, cut him up, threw him away. That's what they said. That was one story that was on the internet that was true.
How was that found on the internet?
I don't know. So I can't believe all those lies. They had one true story. And so that's when I told them what I did. Said I murdered somebody. So that was the first time I told anybody.
But that was in Bellingham?
Yeah.
Do you have questions?
Are you on any medication?
Just the metformin for the insulin for diabetes and the Cinepril and
What's that?
for high blood pressure, and sometimes I take amlodipine, which is for high blood pressure. And I take Flomax for the large prostate. And I take, what else? I know there's more, but I can't think of them. Oh, the torvastatin, the
What's that?
cholesterol.
Okay.
And that's about it, except for periodic antibiotics. Right now I'm taking a pill for the fungal infection.
Okay. And how often do you see your doctor?
I don't see him regularly. I keep missing appointments.
Okay. Are you supposed to, you don't see a psychiatrist or anything, do you?
I was just going to start seeing someone. When I went to the police, I talked to a group of people called the Crisis Unit or something, and they kind of like, there's kind of like psychology, and then they recommend I see a counselor, and then
Okay.
I was going to do that. In the past, I had seen a nurse practitioner, seen a woman, like a counseling kind of thing, which a few times that was useless. But I saw a nurse practitioner because I wanted help. She has me diagnosed as having binge eating disorder and what she calls dysthymic depression, which is a low-grade depression which you can have for years or your entire life.
Okay.
Because I told her, I think I've been depressed my entire life. So we tried some things, and also because of my sleep apnea, I'm always got excessive daytime sleepiness. So we tried Vyvanse, which is a slow-acting Adderall, and then we tried Adderall, and then another one, I can't remember what it was. And at one point, I felt better, but that just, anytime I feel better, it makes food taste better. So this doesn't help with the food.
What kind of family do you have?
Family?
Mm-hmm. Family, right?
Well, I got a sister and her brother and her husband and her sir. Was her daughter, now it's her son.
Mm-hmm.
It's already goes by now.
Transgender.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your sister's name?
Sandy.
What's her last name?
Panzer.
Pancer, like a P-A-N-C-E-R?
Yep.
Or is it P-A-N-S-E-R?
C.
C. She live in Howard?
No, she lives in Lafayette.
You ever go to see her?
No.
You talk to her?
Talk to her on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Week, or week, every month. It depends. Once a week. Once every couple of weeks. I got aunts. 2 aunts that I call. Then everyone else has been with me. I've never been married. Never had kids.
Where in Michigan City did you spend time?
I didn't spend time with anybody.
You didn't have any friends or anything?
No.
You guys, you and Paul went to Keys to Hope regularly?
At the beginning, yeah. Well, once we got a place, we didn't need that.
What about the soup kitchens? Did you guys use those? Or did you have enough money for food and stuff?
Oh, I had enough money for food.
Did Paul go to the soup kitchens?
I don't think so. I know he used to order from that one taco place. All the time. No, he went shopping. He had food stamps. They always went grocery shopping. The nurses would take him.
He had healthcare workers come to the house.
Yeah, the home health aide.
Do you remember any other names?
Oh,
Mm. Was it one of them that said, "I know you murdered him"? Or was it any of them?
I don't know who that was. I don't know. Like, somehow people know things, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys have a car?
No.
Use the public transportation? Or did you
Yeah, I
have
used the
somebody
bus.
drive them around?
We both used buses, and he also had the nurses drive one around. I call nurses home health aides.
Did you have any caseworkers?
No,
Did you ever use Swanson Center?
no.
After you guys moved together, did you use any services in town?
I didn't. But I said that he had the home health things.
And you said you were getting SSI as well?
Yeah.
You said he had muscular dystrophy, right? And so he used a cane.
Yep.
Do you remember anything else that was medically wrong with him?
Well, he came to Indiana for the eye surgery.
Okay. So he was blind or something to the effect of where he needed help with his eyes?
Yeah, he needed a surgery, and this was the only place.
Was it one eye or both eyes?
I believe it was both eyes.
Okay. So did it impair his ability to see, or
Right? See?
he could see?
It worked, yeah.
Oh, so he had the surgery is what you're
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
So were you guys living together before he had the surgery?
No.
Okay. So you don't
He
know.
just told me about it, yeah.
Okay. And he had it on both eyes?
I believe so.
Okay. Did he take medication?
Yeah, he took medication. He had diabetes too.
Okay.
I know one of the medications, I think it was supposed to make you pee out sugar, and it gave him tumors on his kidneys. And he even disappeared for a couple of days and he was in the hospital with that.
So he had some medical issues?
Yeah, it was that. That's the only medical issue I knew while he was there. It was the,
How often do people come and visit him?
well, he had a friend that was an older guy. He would come over. He started coming over there towards the end. But Paul or Tony would go over and work on the guy's feet.
What do you mean?
The guy had something that cut his toenails, or needed someone to cut his toenails and work on his feet and soak them or whatever. He said that's what he would go over and help over there with his feet. And they do.
Paul would go do that?
Yeah.
To this Tony, you said?
No. Paul is Tony. Paul goes by Tony because his father's name was Paul. It's his middle name, Anthony. He goes by Tony. Everyone calls him Tony.
Okay.
And I don't know the old guy's name.
Okay.
And they would go to the casino together.
Sit tight for a minute, okay?
Yeah.
The lights turn out, so if you want to move around, then you just come back on, okay?
Wave your arm, it'll come on. They're motion, so.
I know. I just must have fell asleep there.
That's okay. Give us just a sec.
Okay.
Real fast, we just want to make sure that we have the right person. Do you see Paul in this picture? Circle that for me and just put your name, print your name and signature at the bottom.
Circle. Yep, circle the whole picture, sorry.
That's what I did.
Yeah, print your name and then sign it for me.
Can you put 9/7 of 22 for me, the date? You can put 11:27 a.m. Yep, that'll work. Thank you.
You said that there was some splatter in the living room. What did you do to clean that? Did you clean it? Did you leave it? Did you just let it dry and forget about it?
I don't know. I cleaned it. I tried to clean everything.
Mm-hmm. What did you use to clean it?
Oh, I used a mop.
Okay. What kind of? Was it just mop and water?
Yeah, I used it for I didn't have really any soaps. I used laundry soap, I think, at one point. And then I got the scouring pads. And then I found more blood, over on the sidewall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guessed that it was the way the splatter went. My door was open, so it probably went into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I had blood all over my room from my sores on my feet. So I would keep discovering more blood. I had, even when I put my feet up on the walls, when I was just laying in my bed, there was blood on the wall from my blood. And then I went through the floor a number of times with I had something that I was using as a scraper. Because I would find nail polish or all kinds of different stuff. Trying to go, I bought different lights. Because when that first happened, I had vision problems. So I didn't see a lot of things. So then, as those 2 months, or as that time went by, my vision got better. So I began to see more. So I would see more things and I cleaned it.
What sores were on your feet? Oh, were you talking from?
Foot ulcers.
Yeah. And so those were bleeding?
Yeah, those were bleeding.
Those didn't bleed during the incident, did they? They just had bled afterwards, or?
I think I had shoes on. I wouldn't be able to have traction with them.
Gotcha. So you think you just used soap and water to clean it on that main level right there?
Soap, like I said, I use dish soap.
And a scrubber?
Yeah, I use scrubbers.
So
Scraper.
how many times did you just use the same mop over and over when you would clean it?
I use different mops.
Did you buy new mops, or there were?
Well, the Dollar Tree mops, they're just $1.
Okay. So, and you think there was blood on the floor, and then you saw some blood like splattered on?
Oh, there's definitely,
Scattered
there
on
was
the
a
wall?
puddle of blood on the floor.
Okay.
There's a puddle of blood when I had him in the bedroom. There's a
Yeah.
puddle on the floor in that side room in the basement.
Yeah. Well, let's stick on the main level for just a second, just so that we understand it. Let's stay right where it occurred. How's that?
Okay,
You said you found a tooth.
yeah.
When did you find this tooth?
When I was mopping up the blood,
Right after it occurred?
yeah.
How many times do you think you mopped up to clean that blood?
No.
It was more than one day, though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then I opened the window of the shade, and when the sun hit the floor, the next thing, there was more blood, there were spots.
Okay.
And when I took out the garbage, it appeared I stepped on something, some tissue, and like it got into my shoe, and I've been walking around with the spots from that. Because I found that on the front porch. So it appeared to come off my shoe on the front porch. And the going down, there's stuff on the stairs. Blood, and I attempted to clean the stairs. And the cement stairs, it goes wood stairs to the basement, then it goes cement stairs, then the cement floor to the room. It was just, I kept on cleaning stuff.
And you just use regular mop water, and you were saying to clean it?
Yeah, I don't remember what soap I used. I know I used laundry soap at one point, but I don't remember.
Okay. So what did you do with that tooth?
Just, I can't remember whether threw it away or flushed it down the toilet, because that's what I did with I think the first thing I did was I attempted to put it down the tub for some reason.
The tooth?
No, the bloody water. I don't know why I did that. But then, of course, put it down the toilet, make this very, so, trying to put it down the tub drain.
So when you say try, like you did dump the bucket in there and it just didn't go or something, or you thought about it and just decided not to do
I
it?
think I did, and then I think it was a mess. I had to wash that down.
So when you say I think, why do you think?
Because I don't.
Either you did or you didn't?
Yeah, I don't remember absolutely clearly, like other things. I remember absolutely clearly.
Okay.
Cleanup isn't as clear.
But the tub isn't clear. I'm pretty sure I did that. Because I remember I was stupid to try to put it down in the tub.
Okay. So, the stuff that was on the wall, did you use the mop too for that?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
easy to use.
so you just use that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
because I know what Dollar Tree mops you're talking about. I just was,
I mean, just leverage wise.
Yeah.
It's easier to use on the wall.
okay. And then,
The
So the-
baseboards and the door and
into like Paul's room, you said it was pretty packed and that you were able to just kind of like get him in there the best that you could. And then, he, like you wedged him in there the best that you could. And
She really
so
does.
when you cleaned up that room, was the blood just on the floor or
Yeah,
was it on like anything else?
it's just the puddle where his head was.
Where his head was? Okay, so it was only on the floor. There was no clothing that it like seeped onto or anything like that or nothing else? Okay. So when you had to clean up his room, it was only just that one pile?
It's, yeah. It's right over
If
the
you
puddle.
could show me with your hands, how big do you think that pile of blood was? Okay. And so you mop and bucket again or mop
Yeah.
water and bucket to clean that up?
Yeah, I can't remember what I used to scrape the floor because there was like, there'd be like grooves in the floor. But I had to like, and I mean, there was some trying to scrub the dry blood.
Even on this main level, you even had grooves that you had to get it out of?
Yeah,
Okay.
the floor is not a perfect floor.
Okay.
It's an old floor.
Okay.
And I figured there was spaces. I mean, tried to look underneath to see if the blood had like seeped through there. I didn't see anything.
Okay. And so then you said eventually you took him down the basement stairs, and so that was where you said you had to clean up along the way, and then you said that once you got down there, you put him in that room, and that was also where you had to clean some things up at eventually in time too, right? I didn't
Yeah.
miss anything. I kind of went fast. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss
Yeah.
anything. You talked something. Are you good for the cleanup?
Yeah, I was just
Go on,
going to
something
real fast before we move. So this is the layout of the house that's listed on for tax purposes. Does this seem familiar? Is this how you remember it?
Is this the front door?
This would be the front door, yeah. I believe it.
The bedrooms would be here and here.
Okay.
That
So,
would be the stairway down to the basement.
okay, so you're saying that if you draw it for me,
And then
as you recall it.
in his room. There was also a closet here. One closet. Well, this should be is that the stairway?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't been inside yet.
Complicated to try to. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to draw it accurate. This should be the bathroom. This should be my room. The old room.
Where's the door that you were talking about, the bedroom door?
This bedroom there was here.
Okay, so it's right off the living room?
Yeah.
Okay.
There. The kitchen, this is the dining room and the kitchen's back here. And the side room, if this is the basement, then that would be the side room
Mm-hmm.
to the basement.
So you would have went down these steps right here
Yeah.
and took them all the way over to this place?
Like that diagonal.
And so the door was here, and so you put them over in this corner in case anybody looked in, they
Right.
wouldn't see?
Right. All right, I was thinking about literally seconds. How, like it would take them a few more seconds to find them. I thought if I sealed the door, when I put everything down there at one point, because I thought I was going to move out, I thought if I sealed the door, it would take them a few minutes to, I was thinking about how to like extend everything seconds. And I was constantly asking, what's that opening to the kitchen? And I was constantly asking that, well, if the police came right now, what would I say and do? If they came right now.
What you're gonna say?
Well, it depends on everything I was doing. Why is this here? Why is this here? Why are you doing this?
Okay. So each move that you were making, you were planning to see if the police came and knocked on your door at that moment, you were making a plan for that moment.
Second.
So where was he laying when you were punching him? Okay, and then when you moved him into his bedroom, where was he laying?
Said this here. And his legs, I had to put at an angle to, to get in there.
So the door swings into the room?
No, it swings out, but I got him in there, but I couldn't take him any further into the room because it was packed with stuff.
Okay,
So I had to move his legs off to the side. So their legs are up against the wall here.
okay. When you drug him from the living room to the bedroom, did you use a blanket?
No.
Or did you just drag?
Dragging him by his arms.
Okay. Was there any blood that was on the floor between those locations?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of blood?
Just streaks.
Okay. When you put him down here, was he propped up or was he laying flat on the ground?
Here's the lighting. See, his head was down here. Yeah, I'm all the way, tucked up in this, and covered with a blanket, so came in there like that scene. Because there is a light down there,
Mm-hmm.
and when I left, I removed the light bulb.
Where'd you remove light bulb for?
So you can look in there. So if people wanted to use it, they'd have to. I didn't think anyone would want. They might want to use it for storage or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we also needed a light. We were missing the lights out here. Because there's also, this is the basement room. This is the basement room. But they don't have closed doors. And the basement has the laundry room is down here. Like it's set up for laundry over here.
Mm-hmm. Did you keep anything at Paul's?
No, nothing.
Nothing. How are you making rent?
Well, according to the lease, I was responsible for full rent, but they let me just pay my half. It's just according to the lease, if one of us, would have to pay for the full amount. But he decided just to let me pay my half.
So what did you tell them to get them to agree to that?
Well, first they were talking about getting me another roommate. I said I didn't know anyone, and then that came up with the housing authority to move. I told them how I couldn't, the first time I wasn't able to move because I said, well, we don't want to hold you out. And it was this idea of putting people together in houses, it sounded like they wanted to stop doing that and move the family in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it sounded like they did last time I talked to her.
When was the last time you talked to her?
Just before I moved. I don't think I talked to her after I moved.
Who was that?
Kathy?
Kathy. You remember her last name?
No.
Okay. But she was the property manager?
Yeah.
So did you call her and tell her you couldn't make rent, or she called to collect rent and you say?
We just all this came up. We talked about it as all this stuff was going on. They were gonna sue him, take him to court for the rent or something. I don't know. I don't think they ever did.
Was this after this occurred with you?
Yeah.
Is that when they were trying to collect the rent?
Yeah, because it appeared that he abandoned the property and was therefore legally responsible.
So what did you do? Just tell him that he wasn't living there anymore?
Yeah.
Did she ask where he was?
What I remember is because I moved stuff out of his room and they opened the door and they said, because there was two of them, Kathy and there was another woman. They were like a team. She was like the assistant, and both of them were there. And they looked in the room. They're like, "Oh, his stuff is gone. He's moved out." Like they just they figured it out. Because I'm not really acting like I'm going into his room or doing anything.
Was it normal for them to come to your house? Did they come by often?
Not often. But they were coming more because of the situation.
Because he was unaccounted for?
Yeah. And they're trying to figure out what's going on, what to do. And they said, they wrote him a letter and taped it to his door. And she said, we almost filed a missing persons report on it.
But
We didn't, because, and they contact us. And I threw that letter away. And I threw all his mail away that I was getting. The caseworker sent, we need to know if you want to continue working with us. Yeah, it was a letter. I threw that away. So it just appeared that he stopped contacting everybody. I told him that she asked me, is there any way, because when I first talked about the housing authority moving out before the final one, and then I really did move out, they thought, oh, they're working on this together. They thought we were trying to get out of the lease somehow. I would just, let them think whatever they wanted. But I was trying to think what I was going to say. So, yeah.
So you said that this happened the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
And did you have to look at the calendar to come up with that date? That November 25th, or is that just a date that you remember?
I remember Thanksgiving being on Thursday, the 24th.
Okay. Just according to the calendar, those dates are off.
Okay.
Okay. So did this happen on a Friday? Was it Friday night into Saturday morning? Was it Saturday?
Well, it happened
Thursday?
in the morning. I remember it was at 5 a.m.
Mhm.
5 and 5:30. So if
So was it the morning right after Thanksgiving?
that's how I remember it, the morning after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But like you just said, if there's no mail on Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
So that situation with the mail probably didn't happen on Thanksgiving. But that's the way I remembered it.
But you remember specifically the date was the 25th.
Yeah.
Is it because that's every day you thought that it's been another day? Is that how you remember that day?
Yeah.
How long have you always known that date, or is that as you're thinking back on it? That's
No, I always knew that date. I was going to look that up too.
the date?
Yeah.
Would looking at a calendar help you, you're saying?
Well, I just wanted to check that myself. I just was going to look that, but I never do anything. Like that address, I think I could have found it, but I didn't look it up.
Mm-hmm. And you said that that he was in his bedroom until the first time you spoke to police officers.
Yes.
How many times did you speak to police officers?
Well, I spoke to Michigan City just that one time. And then there was another sheriff was coming around. I don't know what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was getting shipments of diapers. I told the Federal, I think it was Federal Express, that he moved out. And these diapers are coming. There's going to be tons of them. And so he knew another situation where they kept delivering to a person that was no longer living.
Mm-hmm.
So he was working on getting that stopped, and the people for the cable, they wanted to recover the cable box and the different Wi-Fi that he had, but I had thrown all that stuff away. So I told him there's nothing in the room, it's empty.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first time when the police officers came, what did you tell them?
He said, I got a caseworker that's, going, really on them about this guy, and I said, I don't know anything about the caseworker, but he's got a girlfriend, and he stays with her sometimes. And he said, do you know her name? I said, no. Well, I said, he does his thing and I do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I told you the cop said to the other one that this guy's an asshole.
Well, do you remember what that guy looked like?
Yeah, he was a white guy.
Mm-hmm. Tall or short?
I'd say about 5'9". He seemed like late 40s.
Mm.
And there was the cop with him, seemed younger, and I think he was like Asian or Hispanic. I can't remember.
Okay. So that was on, by our records, that was December 4th.
Oh, that's when you
Does that
got.
sound familiar?
It could be. It's within a.
And you're saying that at that time that he was in that bedroom?
Yeah, I don't know if he was there that long.
Because that would have been
9 days.
9 days.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
seems like a long. Yeah, so I thought that happened maybe 3 days after.
You're pretty detailed about just about everything else.
I know. Well, I remember everything I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting the. Sounds like I'm not getting the dates right. I didn't keep track of that.
Mm-hmm.
You moved out what year?
I moved out the. So we moved in the 15th. So I think that would be it should have been 18. I mean, yeah, it should be 18 that I moved out. Year 18
Okay.
of March or April. March or April.
So the cellar that you put him in, was it heated?
No,
Was it, could you store frozen meat in it?
no. Because once it got up to 50 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was really cold out for most of that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like freezer or refrigerator.
You see what I'm getting at here, right? Is that you're saying that his body was pretty much the way it was when you killed him, and yet there's this thing that happens to bodies after a certain period of time.
And the only thing that I was worried about blood, but the only blood left in the body was in the heart. Everything else had dried up.
Had dried up, so when you were cutting him up, was there not blood coming out?
Just there's a little bit in the neck and a little bit in the heart. And there's no other blood.
What did it smell like in that house?
I didn't smell it. The only time I smelled it in the house was when they got up to like 50 degrees. Other than that, I never smelled it in the house. And the room, it smelled like there's a place on Michigan Boulevard where the guy makes his own Italian sausage. And it smells just like his meat rack over there, like his meat. He's got like a deli thing going on. And his meat area smells just like what he smelled like. It smelled like meat.
Mm-hmm. And you said that his skin was like normal?
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I said, the mouth, like the bacteria had eaten away the mouth, so the teeth were exposed.
Do you have an excessive amount of flies or anything like that in the
Oh,
house?
there's no flies. Just winter,
Mm-hmm.
November, December, January.
When you cut him up, how did you put, you said you cut the arms off?
I cut the head off first,
Mm-hmm.
put it in a bag, just and tied it up because that was the worst part of the body.
Why?
Because the bacteria had eaten away the
Okay.
mouth area, the
Okay.
lips, and the hair just seemed, I don't know how to describe the hair, seemed like wet. So I put that in a plastic bag, and then I cut the arms off, and then I cut the legs off around the knees, and then I cut the hips, and then I did that about the chest. I think it was 9 pieces, 4 or 5. Something like that.
And you said you put like the torso in its own bag, like one piece of torso in a bag and another piece of torso in the bag?
Yeah, just the upper one I cut through the chest, just
Yeah.
trying to reduce the weight of, but that area of the body I had almost no weight. It was like, had no mass because of the lungs, I guess, I don't know. And then I put pillows in with everything, so it rounded off with everything. It didn't look
So
like
the legs you put together in one bag?
the thighs. Yeah, that was the second heaviest bag was the thighs.
And they were with all 4 limbs together? Because you said
No,
you
I
cut at the
believe-
knees.
Yeah, I believe it was just the thighs, 2 thighs in a bag
Yep.
because it was so heavy.
And then the 2 lower part together?
Well, the torso, the 2 thighs was the bag, and then the head and arms or whatever it was. It's 5 bags, I believe.
Okay. Okay. And you said you like put 4 bags almost all over everything to just in
Yeah.
case somebody shredded a bag.
Yeah, 4 or 5
It was
bags
still
because I
staying on the
used all
bag.
the bags I had.
How many boxes of bags did you buy when you did buy them? Do you remember that?
I remember I bought two boxes,
Okay.
but I think I used some of the bags for his stuff, trying to get the most stuff I could in the garbage cans each week.
Mm-hmm. So you were cleaning his room a little bit at a time. You would take some of the stuff out of the room and just throw it in the garbage so it didn't look.
Yeah, I tried to take everything I could in each garbage. Then I kind of slowed down, and I thought, well, I'll just leave like a lamp and a chair, and a wheelchair he had. But then I thought, well, I'm going to get that. I thought that looks suspicious too, so I'm going to get rid of everything. So I would just break everything into pieces, put it in the garbage.
You broke the wheelchair in pieces?
Yeah, to get the wheelchair in the garbage, and
How'd you break it?
You just had to use a wrench and screwdrivers, cutting the seat out.
How'd you cut the seat out?
I think I used a hacksaw. Just not the one I used for the thing, but it's a 10-inch, so it's not it's a smaller one than the bigger hacksaw.
Okay.
And there was one wheel I really struggled to get off, but I found a way to get it. So you needed 2 wrenches, but I found a way to bend it so that the one wrench would work, get the wheels off. And then I bagged put it in the bag so you can't see it, and then put it in garbage.
So how long did it take you to get his room empty in the garbage?
Well, I was, like I say, all the way up to when I was leaving, I was,
Still throwing some of his stuff away?
yeah. And the last thing I put in the garbage there was like a bucket that I was cleaning, and there was the paint can. And something else, but yeah, I called the garbage to see if they would do a special pickup, but they didn't come. So I was disappointed that there was still garbage left behind, but I just wanted everything to be perfectly clean.
did it smell like when you first started cutting them open? Was it different than?
Those smell changes. Like I said, I never cut into the digestive system.
How did you know it would smell if you cut in the digestive system?
I just assumed. I mean, there's, like people say, like a catfish, you can't break the gallbladder or else it'll destroy all the meat. And that's all it takes is that gallbladder to break open.
Did you have to remove any clothing when you started cutting into him?
Yeah,
Did you take off all his clothing?
yeah.
Where did his clothing go?
Just with piles of stuff.
Okay. Was eyes open or closed?
They were like half open.
What do you remember about him?
The eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Just, well, the main thing I remember is when he died, when the way his eyes, that change in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. What changed about him?
It was just a clear, went from just dead. I mean, this whatever the circuitry is that makes eyes unique when they're alive, just turned off.
What about when you cut him up?
I didn't notice anything about the eyes when I cut them up.
Did you look him in the eyes?
No, I didn't know. I didn't. The eyes were nothing unique to look at after he was passed. So the only thing that was gross was the mouth area.
When you started cutting him up, were his eyes open or closed?
I just wasn't focused on that.
You said his mouth started to decay, you said, right? Do you remember seeing what tooth you knocked out?
No. I didn't notice that.
You couldn't tell? Did he have any missing teeth before?
Not that I noticed.
So all his teeth were pretty much intact?
Assuming there was no like.
You said you remember that day started at 5 a.m., right?
Yeah.
How do you know 5 a.m.?
I just remember at the time. And
Is it just from thinking about it?
well, something happened that I remember the time. Between 5 and 5:30.
You said that when you guys got into it and he was down on the ground, you said he couldn't get up. Why couldn't he get up again?
His legs,
What was wrong with his legs?
muscular dystrophy.
Okay, so he has
really
to
thin.
use... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
His legs were really thin. That was the part of his body that was the weakest.
His legs?
Yeah.
So he had to use something to help get him up? Like pull
Yeah, he would
himself up?
scoot to a chair and then get up on the chair and then stand up. He didn't have the leg strength to stand straight up.
So when he walked, did he use that cane?
Mm-hmm.
That was all he needed?
Yeah, he could walk without a cane too, but he would use the cane and then some. Then he tried other things. He had these special crutches. He tried the arm crutches. He had a walker. He had this one that had 3 wheels that he tried. He was trying different things.
The day before you killed him, did any social services come over to take him to the store or anything like that?
I don't remember the day before. I think he was. I assume he was gone because I talked about how I got the mail. He could have been sleeping too, so I don't. There's times he was sleeping and I thought he was gone.
And you said he didn't go anywhere for Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I don't remember feeling him on Thanksgiving.
You did not.
I did not.
When you put him in the basement, was he on his back or on his side?
I believe he was on his side.
When you took his clothes off, did you notice any color changes on his skin?
No.
Was one part darker than the other?
I didn't notice anything particular.
You said the floor had like grooves and stuff, was it brick or was it cement that had?
It was like cement, and then it's like they had come over with another layer over the cement. So it chipped a couple of times, but the part where he was, that was cement. That was because I'd worked on that to get the blood, tried to get the blood out of the cement. Where actually work it down.
Mm-hmm.
As they say, cement absorbs.
Did Paul die of natural causes and you're just coming up with a story to have some more to go?
No.
No.
I wish that so it's, I wish when you came back, you seemed like a little excited. I thought I was hoping you'd just tell me I was crazy and then I'd be, the call is still alive for someone.
So you think Paul's alive?
No. I said I was hoping.
You're hoping.
There's no chance of that.
Because?
Because all the things that I did.
How can we validate this and that it's not natural causes?
I would assume his electronic footprint stops exactly at that point. No phones after that, no credit, no banking.
But how do we prove that he just didn't die in his sleep?
Well, I don't know unless you can do that, spray.
Mm-hmm.
They say it even if you try to wash it, people try to use bleach.
Mm-hmm.
You can still see the I don't know, the iron in the blood or something, and phosphorus in the blood or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that could be. It's like the same thing with the drywall. I figured, soaked in, concrete is soaked in, that you would find something and then be able to take a sample.
Was the blanket that you used to wrap him up in, when you unwrapped him, was it wet? Was it stained?
The part where the blood came through, is soaked through, another pile of blood came from the head and went through the blanket. Because I was surprised that I didn't think there would be any blood left, but there was another little pool of blood. And that went into it was like a low spot. And then right next to that low spot was like a groove in the cement. A clear, opening groove. It was a straight line, like they were two cement, together almost, but there was space. So I tried to, I got water down there, and when I did the spray paint, I tried to spray the spray paint over. And then I did when I did that final layer of paint, I thought, well, if they scrape off that layer, they're probably not going to scrape off the second layer. And there might be something down in that groove, but then you'd have to be underneath the spray paint. But other than that, if I missed some tiny pieces of tissue down there, like I said, I'd stepped in something. I was stuck to my shoe and I found that on the front steps. So how do you prove that? That's the first thing I thought was the electronic signature, which is he wouldn't, Social Security has to do that annual review, and that wouldn't have been done, so that would stop. I figured his checks probably kept on going to whatever checking account he had. But there shouldn't be any. He said, I remember him saying that he had $7,000, but he had a joint account with either this nephew or the cousin.
Did you use this card?
No. But I had memorized his social security number for a while. And I don't remember the first three, but I remember the second two was 6-4, and the last four was either 6-8-3-4. I'm pretty sure that's it, but it could have been reversed. It could have been 3-4-6-8.
Why did you remember or memorize his social security number?
Because when we would do our paperwork, we'd need each other's information, so we, had to constantly tell each other. I'd tell my social security number. They'd tell me his social security number. Dated to the birth.
Paperwork for what?
Just the whoever you're living with. You always have to do that for I think everything.
For housing opportunity? Who placed you? Is that what you're saying?
Then I think for food stamps.
Were you getting food stamps?
Yeah, we both were.
And he was too, you said? Okay. That's a different card though, right? When you get food stamps?
Yeah.
Did you use his food stamp card ever?
No.
Afterwards?
No.
Did you use any of his stuff afterwards?
Stuff. What I did was, when I went through his wallet, there was like a $50 bill. I took that, and when I went through his stuff, he had a backpack, and there was an envelope. I think it had like $840 in it. And then I found that there was change, so my estimate was that it was $900.
And you took that?
Yeah.
Why'd you go through his wallet?
I guess to see if there was money in there.
You guessed or you did? Or that was the reason? I mean, you went through it and you found the money, correct?
Right.
Okay. And then you went through his bedroom and found the money?
Well, yeah, through his stuff.
Okay. And then you kept it? What'd you do with it?
I went to the casino, and I think I lost like 500 of it.
Ours?
Huh?
Our casino? Blue Chip?
Blue chip, yeah.
When did you go to Blue Chip after this?
I was going to blue chip all the time until I voluntarily had myself banned in order to block myself from going.
So when did you go when you got his money?
Just during that period of time.
Was it after like a week or something you found this money, or?
Well, I don't remember when I started throwing away his stuff, but because I remember the first things I threw away was his wallet and his phone.
Why'd you throw his phone away?
I don't know. I mean, that's where I began throwing away his stuff.
Did you go through his phone before you threw it away?
Well, I couldn't go through it. I just looked at it.
Why couldn't you go through it?
I think you need a code.
Mm-hmm. Did you take any pictures when all this happened to him?
No.
What you did to him?
No.
No souvenirs?
No. I didn't want anything.
You didn't hang on to anything?
Nothing.
Just as a souvenir?
Nothing. No.
I gotta ask. You
I
gotta
know.
understand. So just his electronic footprint would have disappeared and dropped off, right? That's what you're thinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you use a player's card and blue chip on? Yes.
I did this.
I have a player's card.
Did you use it during the time?
I'm sure I did. I mean, I always used it.
We have a lot, you've cost us a lot of work today. So we're going to move you from this room down into a holding cell, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we will be back probably this afternoon. Right?
Okay.
We got some work to do. Okay.
We're gonna get you some lunch though, because I'm hungry. You have to be hungry.
No, I ate a lot last
Did
night.
you? You wanna hold off then on eating for a little while? Okay. We'll hold off till dinner then, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Let's go this way.
Follow me.
Did I get my stuff?
Yes, oh yeah, absolutely.
I was worried I don't.
No. No. Like I said, anytime you wanna walk out, just let me know. The only reason we're in this room is because we don't have to go all the way upstairs,
Right.
so.
And it froze all night.
Was it cold in
Is
there?
it cold? Yeah, we don't have blankets.
Reading on there. So because there's been a couple of days that's happened last time we talked to you, I always like to go over your rights to make sure that you understand them again. So we're going to go through this form one more time. Again, if you have any questions or something seems different than the other time, let me know. I'll go through it word for word again. Don't jump ahead of me. It says this is the LaPorte County Prosecuting Attorney's Office Constitutional Rights Form. It says, before we ask you any questions, it is our duty to advise you your constitutional rights. To indicate that you understand what your rights are, please place your initials on the line provided after each one is read and as they are read to you. Very first one, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in court of law. You have the right to talk with an attorney and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Just like, if you don't want to answer a question, that's fine. And like I said, when you're done, and you're going to walk out of this building, okay?
Hey, I'm not. I don't know how to say this nicely, but I've got
Oh, wait, read that out loud for me.
I have a bowel movement on its way.
Okay.
But,
Do you need to go back to your cell right now?
no, I'll let you know.
All right. Keep me posted.
I've been waiting for it because it's been conflict. Anyway, prior to any questioning, I have read the above statements of my constitutional rights and fully understand what my rights are. At this time, I am freely and voluntarily willing to answer questions without a lawyer present. No force, threats, or promises of any kind have been used by anyone to influence me to waive these rights. I am willing to talk to the police.
You willing to talk to us again?
Yeah.
I always like to get the verbal just because I want to make sure that you, yeah.
I know every lawyer.
Sometimes people read that paragraph and don't understand it, and then they don't know what they're
I
saying.
know every lawyer in the world says, do not say a word. Do not say a word.
Okay, so since last time we talked, we have been in the house now, so we have a little bit more of an understanding of where things
I
were.
was wondering how that was going to go when people live in there.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a surprise for him. So, so let's talk about the room itself, that cellar room.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you had to do some painting. Was that entire floor painted prior to?
It looks like someone had put a layer of something.
Okay.
It almost has a hollow sound. Like something was put, some layer was put down over concrete. That's what it seemed like to me in the middle section. But the part where I had him, that's the part where I used the the wire brush and the concrete. It's like a concrete block, only it's designed to smooth out concrete. Mm-hmm. It's like concrete sandpaper kind of an idea. Mm-hmm. And so I used that, and then I spray painted. And after I spray painted, it looked like I had spray painted like where it was like a brighter color, gray, and it looked like brighter than, so that stood out. So then I went and got a small can of paint, and I thought when I was down there that I matched my jacket coat to the floor, but they were the same color. But my jacket coat turned out to be a lot darker. So I tried to match. I had the guy mix the paint to make it darker to match my jacket, and it turned out to be it came around like black almost, like charcoal. And that messed up the paint, because the paint was designed to like be, if you dry fast and not have any odor, I think. You know, I didn't want the paint smells.
Was it like a Rust-Oleum or something?
I don't remember.
The spray paint was the...
Spray paint, it was just again, they have these paints that are called like no odor, or fast drying, no odor. So you don't get those huge fumes, and so you can do it indoor without it serious smells. So that's what I use, and then that I put down in like a rectangle shape from the door to the back wall and out about 2 feet.
Okay. And was that a latex paint?
I don't know what it was.
Did you roll it on or brush it on?
I rolled it on. But it was so thick because adding the color changed the paint. So it was no longer like a good paint. There's like a room to paint. So it was like thick, like muddy kind of thing.
Where did you get the paint?
Menards.
Menards. Did you go to the desk and ask for like a certain paint for concrete or anything like that, or did you get it off the shelf?
I got it off the shelf, and then I went to the guy at the desk to mix it.
Okay.
Did you show him your coat then and said, hey, can you match it to this? Or did you go get a swab?
He would add some, and they look at it, and I would look and say, no, it's darker, because I was just in my mind comparing it to my jacket. I don't think I ever put my jacket. I don't know if I put my jacket up to mix.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how I made such a huge mistake, because the jacket was so much darker than
Than the floor itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Floor color.
Okay. So, did you paint any of the wall?
I think maybe up like this much up the wall,
Okay.
along the wall.
Okay. Do you remember so Menards is pretty specific to like certain, did you go with the cheapest brand or did you go with like a Dutch Boy, or do you remember like with Pittsburgh paint or Conoco? Do you remember which paint it was? Do you remember what color the can was?
I just think it was white with the whatever name was on it.
Was it a gallon or a
It
quart?
was a small can,
Okay.
whatever this is.
Did it have a plastic top that you screwed off, or was it one of the metal ones that you popped
I
off?
think it was the metal ones you popped on.
Okay. And you used a roller,
Yeah, a little roller.
okay. Did you use the ending brushes at all, or was it just the roller?
Just
Okay. And what did you do with the leftover paint? Did you have any leftover paint?
yeah. And I had leftover. I took the brush. And I put the brush into the paint can, and then I had something. I don't know if it was baking soda or something left over, and I poured that in there so it would dry up. And then that was put in a red bucket, and that's what was left over. That was, and they did, when I left the house, that was still in the garbage can. I tried to get a special pickup, but they didn't come by and pick it up. So that was left when I left the house.
Okay. So it was the only thing that you physically left behind was
Right.
that
The red
dried up.
bucket in the paint can.
Okay. And you said that was it a roller or was it a brush? Because you just said brush.
It's a roller.
Okay.
Because the roller, like, it's an L shape.
Mm-hmm.
I put the roller into the can.
Okay. Brush side down.
The roller
Roller side down.
roller into the can.
Okay.
And the handle sticking out the side.
Okay.
Then they put the baking soda in there so it all dry up.
Okay. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Remember you mentioning that you got like shower curtains and you laid them down? Did you cover that whole room floor with the shower curtains, or just where he was, or what was? I don't remember what you said about that.
Yeah, I laid them out pretty much to cover most of the floor.
So around where he was.
Yeah, because
Nice.
each pile went into a shower curtain.
Okay. Each part that you cut, you're saying you put on a shower curtain, and then that shower curtain and everything went into a bag.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's how I wrapped it up. So I think there was. I keep thinking it was either 4 or 5 bags, but I can't remember if it was 4 or 5 bags.
And that shower curtain, though, it just covered that floor in that room, that area around you.
Those like 4 or 5 shower curtains.
Okay. Not up on the wall, so just on the floor.
Yeah, nothing on the walls.
Okay. That room, did it leak at the time that you were living there?
Yeah, there was a leak right by when you come in the door,
Okay.
right side up, like with the chimney. There seemed to be a chimney going up there.
Okay.
That not only did it leak water, it leaked dirt. There was dirt had over years. It seemed like over years had come down there. So there was dirt on each of those outcroppings of block brick, and then on the ground there was a big pile of dirt.
Okay.
And you walked in the door, and I cleaned that all up. It was a whole bucket of dirt that I pulled out of there from that. And that ceiling, there was always this mold smell, not always, but there'd be this strong mold smell in the house sometimes, even the manager, and we looked for it, and we didn't know where, that's where the mold smell was coming from. There was a ceiling, it had big, things of mold in there.
In that room.
Yeah, and I never did tell the manager where that was, because I found that out towards the end, because we were looking for where this, when Paul would mount the floors, he would use too much water, and it smelled like he was getting water and causing mold smell there too, but that's where it was coming from, that ceiling. And when I first got in that room, the entire ceiling was covered in cobwebs. So all those had to be, all those were removed.
So when you moved him into that room, was there anything on the floor, like debris, dirt, something you guys were storing there? Was there anything in that room?
I don't think it was in the room. There was some old shovels and rakes, all rusty shovels and rakes. Had them propped up in a corner. I don't know when I first got in there where they were. That's the only thing I remember that was in there. And I threw those away too. I mean, the floor was, because I don't know if it was that dirty. I don't remember the floor being that dirty. But I swept it, mopped it.
And you said that you mopped it. Do you remember what kind of cleaner you used?
No, I don't remember that.
Was it laundry soap, dish soap, bleach?
I don't ever remember using bleach. I know when I did the first mopping, because I didn't have any bleach, but I didn't know about using bleach on the hardwood floors. But the mop was dirty, and I'm looking down there. I was like, we had I had the plumbing, it was like a hydrochloric acid for the drain, and I thought, well, maybe that'll work like bleach.
Yeah.
So I poured some, and then it turned into a toxic gas.
Oh no! Did you knock yourself out?
Didn't knock myself out, but then I walked around with that smell on it. So it was like busy, and I went on the bus.
So you didn't get to use that on the floor or anything?
No, that was just something that happened.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to when you went to cut up the body. You said that there wasn't much blood. Describe that. Describe to me what was coming out.
Nothing was coming out, so a little blood came out when the head came out, and then there's a little pool of blood in the heart.
What about when you cut the torso? Was there like clumps of anything, clumps of organs, anything like that?
There wasn't really clumps. There were some pieces that got onto the hacksaw blade.
Pieces of what?
Flesh.
What about like muscle tissues, anything like that?
That's what I assumed it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the one part I had the hardest part cutting was the shoulder. For some reason, the skin was like resisting the hacksaw blade. So I tried to twist it to make the skin tighter, and I just had to cut and cut that. For some reason, that one strip of skin was like, it was extremely difficult to cut.
How was the skin? Was it like thin or thick?
I would say thick.
Mm-hmm. Did it seem like it was loose or tight or anything like that?
Let's say it was tight.
What his hair? What was his hair like?
Seemed like it was wet. Just seemed like it was wet. I don't know what that was.
Did you touch it? Did you touch the hair?
No.
What was his hair? What was his hairstyle like?
Short. I don't know.
Like as short as yours
No,
is right now?
that's a short.
So like an inch, 2 inches, something like that?
2 or 3 inches.
Okay. And you removed the head without grabbing his hair?
Yep, I just propped him up and then the saw just went right through the neck like it was nothing into a plastic bag.
You said you thought that it looked wet. Did it look like some of the hair was falling out, or was it all still intact?
Seemed like it was all intact.
Okay. How cold was that room when you?
It would get real cold. I
when
could
you-
see my breath down there. I had to wear something down there to keep myself from freezing.
Did you always keep that basement door closed? That led to the basement, I should say, that door. Did you keep that closed or open?
Yeah, always closed.
Is it because of the coldness that came up? Or just?
Well, yeah,
kept
the
it
house
closed?
is heated in the basement. I don't know if it's like, again, I don't know if it has any direct heat.
Okay.
And then the side room is even more cut off from that. So I think the basement just gets the radiant heat from the main room.
Okay.
So you saw that side door, and you open and see how it doesn't open all the way.
What was it that I know, but do you know why it wouldn't open all the way?
Plumbing.
So now some of the things that have come up was that the people that knew Paul said that he didn't have much stuff in that room.
But he had cardboard boxes everywhere. His room, the living room, the dining room. Just everyone was asking, did he just move in? You know, because he had cardboard boxes full of stuff everywhere. And he was like a pack rat. And I'm sure it didn't look like he had much, but he had a lot of stuff. There's a bunch of little stuff. Everything in the kitchen was his, except for, I had some stuff in the refrigerator. All the counters, everything in the bathroom, all the shelves. This was all his stuff. That was, that he would pack in there, and he'd buy multiples of stuff whatever he bought.
Do you remember his homemaids, the women that came to the?
A little, nothing.
Do you remember anybody specific?
Well,
No names or anything that stick out? What did
I just remember the one he told me that she got fired because she was stealing hours from a blind guy, but the blind guy knew what time it was because he had a clock that had audio to it. So she got fired, he said. That was one of the stories I remember. And yet another one that she had diabetes and had some vision problems, and she hit a garbage can, and he was so upset because that could have been a person. And then they were walking into Walmart, and she just walked right into him and knocked him down.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, he would just rant and go on. He was very repetitive when he wanted to like really bother someone.
Yeah.
He would just
go like on repeat. He just said over and over.
Did you guys have furniture in that living room?
He had some chairs and a table in the dining room. That was like he set up like his office.
Nothing was really in the living room then for you guys?
No furniture, no.
Okay. So most of it was just in like your bedroom or his bedroom?
My furniture was a bed, twin bed, and a folding chair. And a table and a folding table. That was my furniture.
Was that all in your bedroom or?
Yeah, that's what I had in my bed. I didn't keep anything except for the refrigerator. I didn't keep nothing else. Everything was in my room.
Mm-hmm.
He controlled everything in the house. It was like his house.
But there was nothing really in the living room?
No,
And then
just
the dining
his
room?
boxes of stuff by his door, and between his door and the front window,
Okay.
he had boxes of stuff.
And then in that dining room, you had a table and his chair, you said?
He had a folding table, and he had chairs. One was broken, so he told people, don't sit in that chair. And the closet was full of clothes all the way from end to end, packed with clothes and more boxes underneath. And he had some chairs.
And then you said the stuff that he did get though, like did somebody take him to get this stuff, you're saying? Or did that like come with him or?
Oh, he was getting, some people gave him stuff. Some of the nurses gave him some chairs. One of those, like the director's chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of tall. Never seen him sit in it. And some other stuff. And then he would go to, I think, Salvation Army and different places, and then Dollar Tree and Walmart. He had a pan that he would cook, when he'd make French toast, he would always burn it because he had a pan that was non-stick, but it had coating worn off. But he said he was too cheap to buy another one. And he got it for like $1 or something.
Whatever happened to his phone?
Threw it away.
You did?
Mhm.
With him?
No,
Or just after everything?
after.
And what kind of phone was it?
It just seemed like a government phone.
Was it a flip phone
Was it
or
a flip?
smartphone?
Yeah.
It's just a small, what we had back then was they weren't flip phones. They were just a small phone. Fit in your hand, and we had the buttons at the bottom that you could do the letters. But it wasn't a flip phone. It wasn't
Wasn't a smartphone either?
a smartphone either.
Like one of the, where the screen was up on top and the buttons were down at the bottom. Okay. And
Do you remember when you threw the phone away? Did you like ever look at it before you did? Was it still powered on?
I remember looking at it, seeing something on it, but I didn't
So it was on at the time that you threw it away?
seem to have something.
Like service to it at least, or power to it?
Yeah.
Did you ever answer the phone?
His phone?
Yeah.
No.
Did it ever ring?
Yeah, it was ringing when it first happened. It was ringing all the time.
Did you ever charge it or how long did it take before it just died?
I don't know. I mean, I've already. You said, according to what you told me about that when the police officer showed up was 9 days,
Mm-hmm.
and that the 25th wasn't the thing after.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already messing up the times where my impression of when things came when it happened
Mm-hmm.
are different. So I don't know at what point I threw the phone away. I know it was early.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing it is I threw away.
Did you throw it away before you got rid of him?
I might have. I'm not sure when I started throwing the stuff away. If that was, I would think I had started throwing his stuff away when he was still there. But I don't remember.
What was his PIN number again on his social security card?
I don't know his PIN number.
Yeah, like to use it?
You said PIN number on his social security.
Yeah,
Social
on this
Security.
card that he has for social security, what's that? What was that PIN number again?
You're saying social security card, and then you're saying PIN. There's no PIN for a social security.
So he could just use his?
No, the debit card.
Yeah, the debit card
But
for
that's
it.
not a social security card.
Okay.
To put-
No, I see what you're
Bank
thinking.
card.
I'm talking his actual social security card.
That's what
No.
she said.
What his money goes on to from his social security.
I don't know. My first thought was when you asked me that he had the same thing I did, but then I thought, no, he always went to the bank on payday. I got paid on the 1st because I had SSI. He got paid on the 3rd because he had SSDI.
Oh.
And so he would go to the bank, and then he'd come back, and then he'd ask me for my side of the rent, then so he could go and do it all at the bank, and then do it all in one trip, get the money, get the payments, send it.
What was his PIN number on his card then? On his
I don't know
checking
his
account?
bank
Or
numbers.
Okay. Do you remember, was it like a Visa, like his card or anything? Was that a Visa
I don't-
card or a MasterCard or something?
I don't remember seeing cards.
Okay.
He was a cash guy or a check guy or?
I would assume that,
Banking.
I don't, because he doesn't like to pay any extra fees or anything.
Mhm.
I'm just assuming that's cash.
So the only money that you ended up using after this was like the $50 in his wallet?
And the $840.
That was in his bedroom, you said, or
It
something?
was in an envelope in his backpack.
Okay.
Because the backpack, when I picked it up, you could hear change in it. So I took whatever cash that he had.
And you went to Blue Chip, is that what you said?
Yeah, he asked me where I spent it. I said,
Yeah.
I know I spent, I think like 500 at the casino.
Did you win anything?
No,
No.
No.
Lost it?
that would be, winning would not be losing it.
What'd you do with the rest of it then? If you only spent
Spent
five?
it for expenses or
Well,
bills, everything.
Okay.
How long after, when did you think you went to the casino? Was it in December, January, November?
Well, I went to the casino all the time, but I meant as far as spending that money, I mean, I can't. Because what I remember is the first time that I was going to move to public housing, that's when I thought, okay, I'm moving. Took all his stuff, everything from his room, put down to the basement into that side room with his body. And that's when I found the money. And so that's when I had the money at that point. But I don't remember the date, the first date that I was going to move in to the public housing.
And you said that was through Housing Authority?
Yeah.
And they'd given you a move-in date?
Yeah, they said you have a unit available, and then I called them, but I couldn't move into a unit when I was still under lease while I was in housing opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I figured out when I was going through that process. So I called them and told them.
Were you using the same phone number back then as you are now?
I don't know. I've been trying to think really hard when I got my new phone.
Mm-hmm. Is the phone number that you were using then, is that in your housing opportunities paperwork?
I don't know. I don't know if at one point I got my new phone.
Okay.
I know it's not the same phone number as my government phone. So I had the government phone, and I got my new phone, but I don't know at what point that I got my new phone. I know I threw away my old phone when I was at the housing authority.
Mhm.
That's what made me think I didn't get the phone until after. But it's possible I could have got the phone. I'm still there. I don't know that. But I've had that phone all the way up to, close to that time at least.
Were you born and raised where?
I was born in Hammond, Indiana, but my birth certificate says Gary, Indiana, because I was adopted, and then I was raised in Hobart till 19, and I went in the military, and went in the Army. Then I went to, I came back, and I went to Illinois. I stayed in an apartment for 6 months when I went to DeVry Institute. I came back home. Then my dad passed away, so I basically lived with my mother until like 41, and then the house got so bad that we moved into a trailer in Michigan City, closer to my sister. And then my mother, because my mother had a stroke, so we couldn't take care of the house. She had a stroke, so we moved to the trailer. Then 1 year after we lived in the trailer, she had another massive stroke, and then she passed away. So then I lived there in the trailer for another year, and then I became homeless.
Did you end up in Washington?
Well, things were so crazy. Where I lived at the Public Housing Authority. It's now what I call drug dealing Karens, which I've never encountered. Well, drug dealing Karens is the people I have the most problem with, because they're obsessed with people calling the police on them, and they're obsessed with calling the police and lying about me. There was even a woman down there, a sister to the guy that lived down there, and I thought, because the guy had got shot in the throat. My other neighbor, he was shot and killed. When he was recovering from the shot in the throat, the guy underneath me, his sister came. I thought, oh, good, maybe there's one good person in their family, you know. She ended up yelling at the guy, the other white guy on the second floor, and she thought she was yelling at me. And so she called the police and told them that I threatened to kill her.
Right, so how did you end up in Washington?
Well, with all this chaos going on, I started looking for other places to live that were safe and that had good benefits for homeless people. But I knew I was going to be homeless. Spokane had the best benefits for homeless people. They had the best chances of a homeless person recovering. And they had the lowest homicide rate that I've ever seen in the city. Even though they consider themselves high crime, they had the lowest homicide rate.
How did you figure all that out?
Just going on the internet. I looked at Hawaii. I looked at, different states, looking all over. Where looked at Alaska, where you could move, where it's safe. You don't have to worry about all the violence they have here. And they were like homeless friendly, is what I call it. And Spokane was the friendliest, homeless friendliest city with the lowest homicide rate.
Okay, so you moved to, I'm going to get really blunt here, you moved to a city based on their homicide rate,
Right.
knowing that you yourself had committed murder.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound
Well, like I said, my neighbor was shot underneath me.
okay?
Another neighbor was shot and killed down a couple blocks away in the alley.
But don't you think that people should have been worried about you?
No.
Why?
I know that. Because I don't know.
I mean, you yourself, a murderer, are moving to a town based on the crime rate. Right?
Be safe. To live in a safe place. But in
But-
Michigan City, I would be at the bus stop.
But don't you think that people needed to be concerned about you?
No.
Why?
I guess I just don't see myself as that. I see myself as made one horrible mistake in my entire life.
But it was a mistake. You had been planning it.
Well, I've been thinking about it.
For how long?
I don't know.
Like more than a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like you didn't have it in you to do it again, right?
Well, I never could see another situation where my life would be dependent on another person. Where I would see them as having the power to make me become homeless and die. That's what I saw at the time. That's what I thought at the time.
So so you're saying that you killed Paul because you thought that he had control over you.
Then he was trying to get me kicked out.
You were upset that you thought that was his house. You thought he was going to kick
No, I did that. It was fun living in my room. I like small spaces. I was just pointing out when you were saying people said he didn't have a lot of stuff. His stuff was everywhere, but he had a lot of stuff.
So you don't see you don't think of yourself as a murderer.
Right.
Why?
I just see myself as I did this horrible thing. I made one huge mistake in my life. I see myself as trying, living a good life. All the way up to that point and all the way after that point.
What about it was a mistake? Because like I said, you planned up to it. You followed through with it, and then you spent 2 months trying to cover it up.
Right.
So what part of it, at what point did you think that this was a mistake?
I thought it was, that's a good question at one point. I thought it was a mistake. I know right after that I thought to call the police, but then I just wanted to wash my hands. Just wanted to wash the t-shirt. Just wanted to mop up the blood. And it was just, then I thought, well, I just live a little longer, just a little longer, just a little longer. And that's how it went. Just trying to live a little longer, thinking that eventually they would file missing persons and whatever that, I thought it was 7 years. So I thought then they would come looking for me. So at this point, I thought I had 2 more years before someone, unless they looked into it earlier, I thought there was 2 more years before they would file, or like however that worked would happen, go through that process. So I just saw myself, before I came in and talked to the police, I just saw myself as having maybe another 2 years. I was hoping to live another 2 years with all my health problems. So I thought that would just kind of work out, that I would just die then, however that went, whether in prison or natural causes. But then this happened. This extreme situation happened, and I can't live with that. It's the worst hell I've ever been through.
Did you think you were going to feel like a certain way killing Paul, and then that isn't how you felt?
I didn't think about any feelings. I just thought about, I just felt like I had no choice. That my death was imminent by letting him proceed as he was.
You didn't think to make a phone call to Housing Opportunities and say, I need a different placement?
No, when I got the initial public housing notice that I could move in there, I was too scared to move. I wanted everything to keep going just as it was at that point. The idea of moving was, it took everything just to get this place, it seemed like. And now, I had a place, I was living. I was too scared to try to then move to a different place.
So instead of moving, you got rid of an obstacle?
Well, I didn't think that things were that bad at that point. If I would have known, I would have moved if anything like that was going to happen.
At the end, how was Paul's health?
He would look good when he would get ready to go on. He liked pull himself together and he would go. I mean, I thought he said that his other relatives that had the muscular dystrophy lived at 67. So I think he was thinking he had another 2 years.
Did he ever ask you to help him commit suicide?
No.
Did he ever express concern that he was sick and gonna die?
No. I asked him if Because he moved to Indiana for the Irish. So I asked him, well, if you're always talking about California, I said, well, where do you want to, if you could go anywhere you wanted, where would you go? He said, I'd go to California.
Are you sorry for what you did? Or do you just feel like you made a mistake and you moved past it already?
When the first time I told anyone, remember I told you I told my neighbors?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I ever cried about that situation.
Mm-hmm. Did you like Paul? At all?
He was all right.
Not somebody you go have a beer with?
No.
You guys talk at all?
Yeah, we talked all that.
What would you say to his family if they were sitting here now? Because they're just now getting word that.
Yeah, that's right. Good year. I figured that they would be the worst hurt, and then I figured the second worst hurt would be that Kathy from Housing Opportunity.
Mm-hmm. She seemed like she liked Paul.
She seemed like, she's trying to help people.
Mm-hmm. She ever try to help you?
Of course, she's trying to help us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said she's going to, next to the family, she's going to be the most hurt.
When she came around looking for Paul, what did you tell them?
That he had a girlfriend, and I phrased it in such a way as like, I don't know if Paul wants anyone to know this, but he's got a girlfriend. She said, "Oh, he's got a girlfriend." That guy.
Did he ever have a girlfriend?
No, he talked about different nurses, and he wasn't into them. That liked them, and someone tried to set him up with a heroin addict. He didn't want that. And he said he wanted to find a woman and get married. He said he had a ex-wife that was Japanese, was an FBI agent.
Okay.
And he would talk about how he would go to different events where there'd be police officers, and he'd say they were all drunks, and he would talk about other things like he went out, the police officers invited him out to go with him, and then he had sex with prostitutes. And, he had all these stories. He had stories about scholarships. He had a baseball scholarship. He had a basketball scholarship, but he broke both his ankles, so he could never really play after that. He talked
He seemed a little too short to be a basketball player, didn't he?
Well, they hang out with him. He talked about riding a motorcycle and the crashing, and that's how he had a gash in his forehead that kind of makes him look like he's mean, like he's frowning. And
Did he say what he did for a living?
he said he worked at a hotel. He was an accountant.
How did he end up homeless?
So I remember him talking about living in his car and then getting the job, and then I don't remember how he originally became homeless. At one point, I think he said he worked for the mayor of Denver as an accountant. He talked about how he had all these hot secretaries, and the one, she didn't know how to do her job, and he came and he had to do all her work that she'd not done for the county. So he had all these stories about. Oh, and when he said he got drafted for the military, he went on a motorcycle trip across the country, and then he went and took the physical and found out he couldn't pass for the physical, so he didn't have to go.
Did he ever have, Did any of the nurses that came around, did they ever show any romantic interest in him that you thought?
No, I never noticed that.
But he,
I know there was one that he liked, and she was like, kind of like rolling her eyes because she was younger. And
oh, which one was that?
I don't remember her name, but he said she was into biker guys.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever express any concerns that they were stealing from him?
No, but he was absolutely paranoid about counting his change,
Okay.
counting his pills. Like when maintenance came by and he would leave his door open, oh, he'd go and count everything. They better not take any of my pills. 'Cause he was obsessed with the idea that people were going to steal his pain pills and sell them. That's what.
It's a thing, yeah.
That was one.
It's a fair obsession.
So, and like say the freezer, he put this bag of M&Ms in there, but I needed that section. I would move his M&Ms over to put my pop. When I first get my pop, it'd be warm to get cold, and so his M&Ms would be moved, and he would, gasp at the fact that his M&Ms have been moved.
You touch the stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And like above the microwave, he had pill bottles, but there was one that I would move back because it was too close when you open the door. So then he took, and it was tilting it at a 45-degree angle. Again, I would move it just because I didn't want to knock it down when I opened the door. He would do these setups trying to, catch people over the stuff, touching his stuff. He was just,
Did you guys fight?
no.
Did you ever yell at each other or?
He got really angry the 2 times that I was short on the utility bill.
Was he just angry or was he verbally mad?
I was just really angry. And then there was one time when I had this, for my big bag, you seen? I had a cart with wheels on it. She put the bag on. But to set it up, I had to slam it down. So I was going to the laundry, did that, slammed it down. Then he got up and he was like, "You woke me up. It sounded like you were pounding like a hammer." And I was like, "A hammer?" I didn't know what you were talking about because I didn't think it's associated with the loud noise that I just made. And he just looked at me like I was standing in the door, and his eyes were just like completely dilated, black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was ready to kill me.
So you said you had to wear a coat when you went into that room. You still have that coat?
No, what I wore is in his closet, he had this vest that was like this sheep, like a brown leather with like sheep's, like the sheep, what do you call it?
Yeah, like a Sherpa kind
It was like the puffy, the actual sheep, like skin with the wool on it or whatever. That was like the lining. That's what I wore down there a couple of times because it was so cold down there.
of. What did you do with that vest?
I just threw it away with everything else.
Did he have any relatives?
Yeah, you talked
Did they come
about.
by?
There was a couple guys. I don't know if it was the same guy or a couple guys. I couldn't tell. But he'd always talk about his nephews or his cousins, and I couldn't never remember if that was his nephew or cousin.
Did you ever see any of them?
Yeah, that one guy I seen. He was just coming in and out with him. We didn't talk or anything.
You said you told a neighbor first about all this?
In Bellingham?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You said you first told somebody.
The first time, yeah, you asked me the first time I told anyone.
Yeah.
I was in Bellingham, and during this month of all this insanity, him calling me a molester, pedophile, rapist, all this thing, and I'm telling him I've never molested anyone, never raped anyone. They were saying I punched kids and knocked their teeth out. I said I never hit a kid, never hit a woman. They were talking about all these stories. I'm like, I'm telling you the truth, And I said, I didn't hurt anybody. Well, then I would think, well, I can't say anybody because what I did to Paul. But I kept saying, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to hide. I'm telling you guys. Then that's when I said, well, I did hurt someone,
Who did you tell this to?
The neighbors, that all the ones that were harassing.
Who were they?
There's 3 guys underneath me. Plus a 4th guy would go down there. There was the woman next to me named Kathy Shear. And then there was a family that was the one that was claiming that their son was molested by me. Those are the people. I can hear the whole parking lot when I'm living in my apartment. I can hear them underneath me talking. I can hear her talking next. I can hear them out in the parking lot. So this is just, I would start yelling at them. You know what I mean? I could just talk loud and they would hear me when they would repeat what I said.
You said that, so you told these people, and this Kathy is the one who is like the way that it sounds like you were talking, is she like the ringleader or something, and that's the one who is like conspired all these stories against you, is that what I remember you saying? Like Kathy's the one that originally accused you of raping her?
Right.
Okay, right so far.
Yeah.
And then you said she's also the one that conspired about the kid, about you molesting a kid?
Right.
Okay, so did this stuff get turned over to the police?
Well, as soon as I heard the kid say that he was molested by John Hallen, I called the police. I told them there's a kid saying that he's been molested by me.
Did anybody come talk to you about that?
No.
How long ago was that you called them and told them this, the police?
Yeah. Well, it had to be either July or, I'm thinking this all happened in August.
Okay.
Because but the date I remember the most was July 23rd. That was the day that Kathy went down to the guy underneath me in 3, and they formed an alliance that they were going to work together to get rid of me. That night is when the guy on 3 took the kid that's claimed that he was molested to the back of the house, back to the apartment building. There's no doors in the back of the building. You have to walk around back of the building to my bedroom and told the kid that I was doing something sexual in my window. And this was like 1:45 in the morning. And so he's back there with this kid, telling him the kid looking up the window is fully covered, and he starts screaming, "Sick, sick!" And then he calls Kathy. Then Kathy comes down and says, "Yeah, I see him too." So that was the beginning, and that was the kid that would eventually claim that he was molested by me.
Are you scared about going to jail as a child molester?
I would like to. The reason
Yes
I
or
told
no?
no,
You're not scared to go to jail as a child molester?
no. Well, I wanted them. I wanted
Does
the
it
police.
scare you more to be in jail as a child molester or in jail as a murderer?
I think my health is going to fail in the prison. Already, I mean, I haven't taken my medication.
So would you rather be a child molester in prison or a murderer in prison is what I'm asking.
I don't see myself as being a child molester. They might accuse me of being a child molester, but I'll never be a child molester. You understand?
I do understand what you're saying.
So,
But does it fear you that you could go to jail for that? Because you said that they're coming up with these stories.
well, it sucks to be called the worst possible thing you could be called, which
Yeah.
is a molester.
Mm-hmm.
And when I've never done that. So I'm dealing with that everywhere I go now. There's people yelling molester at me. Somehow
Back at home?
this is, here,
Oh.
all the way to Trip here. They're like spreading this through the internet somehow. And there's people yelling these things at me. And there's yelling at me about other stories I don't know about.
So would you come up with a story about Paul so that you could avoid going to prison as a child molester and go to prison instead as murderer? I gotta ask.
No.
It's easier for people to go to jail as a murderer. The status quo is different than it is as a child molester. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
People don't like
I
child
mean, you
molesters.
even said that the worst thing you could possibly do.
That's the worst thing you can be called. Yeah, it's worse than be called a murderer.
Right.
I'd say the worst thing is the molester. The second worst is the rapist.
So you're trying to avoid dealing with everything back at home
I'm trying to.
and come here
I
and deal with
can't
this?
live. I can't live in that environment. I mean, it was 24 hours a day harassment. I can't survive like that.
So what made you, so I guess, I mean, I get that it seems like you have a pretty easy time just, uprooting your life and moving on. Why didn't you just uproot your life and move on? Why did you come all the way back here to
Because I told the truth about what happened.
But why? But why?
Because I don't see.
Why now? It's been 5 years. Why?
I think because of that month of hell. That
Yeah, but again, if I basically gotten away with murder, and have the ability to just uproot my life and go to Bellingham, Washington, where I don't know anybody,
Right.
and now my life's starting to really, really suck. So why not just uproot my life and go somewhere else and not say anything?
But with the internet, there is nowhere else anymore.
I haven't seen anything on the internet about you.
I know.
I had to do some pretty big digging just to find out that you live here.
Hmm.
There's nothing on the internet about you.
I know. I've tried myself to find stuff,
Okay.
and I can't find it.
So where are you believing that people are calling you a child molester? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm very good at research.
Mhm.
There's nothing on the internet that says that you're a child
One
molester.
of the stories I've heard countless stories about me committing all these. They said I was a police officer in Seattle. They said, I kept telling them I was never been a police officer. They were saying all this stuff. So one of the stories was that they said there was a video of me on Facebook masturbating in front of another child on Facebook. That was one of their stories. So I'm guessing all these stories they're somehow going on Facebook somewhere. And I told them there's like 50 John Hallett's on Facebook. So, and I've never been on Facebook. When I said never been on Facebook, they said, what are you talking about? You're on Facebook. But I mean, I never set up an account, to be John Hallett.
So you don't have a profile.
Right, I don't have a profile.
Okay.
I said I should go on all these things and establish a presence so I can counter all these things that are being said about. That takes a lot more mental energy than I have. I just try to survive each day, basically. And I usually eat once a day, and that's my focus for the day. And then,
But again, we get back to
Why now?
Why this step? Why now?
yeah,
Why? I mean, that can't be that can't be as simple as that. That
it is.
That you're-
It's an absolute. I no longer have a life anymore. Because everywhere I'm going to go now, I'm going to be called molester and accused of all these crimes. And I can't live like that.
so you'd rather be in prison. That's what I'm. That's where
But
you're
even,
saying to
even
me.
prison is going to continue in prison. These
So what-
lies and rumors.
Okay.
So, but I.
You got to make me understand, because right now you just look like some guy that came in here and is spewing stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Because I have nothing that says that you killed Paul in that house and cut him up. So you explain it to me, because it doesn't sound sensible.
I've given you all the facts, the details. I try to be as honest and as upfront as I can. Now, as far as you telling me that, my first thought is like, I could play it, as that.
Mm-hmm.
That I am some kind of crazy guy, that I didn't do anything.
Okay.
And, but, this, I'm not going to do that, but I'm saying that's something I could see them, the other side of playing things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened. I told you what happened. And yeah, this is going to be, the padding on the bed is not thick enough to keep my ribs from separating. My ribs are already kind of separated in my back. This is going to be hell. I'm not checking my blood pressure. The last time I went 10 days without taking my blood pressure medication, the blood vessels in my eyes burst, my eyes filled with blood, and I was blind.
Mm-hmm.
This is the breakdown that happens. I'm not taking my medication. I'm not taking a year, and 1 month ago, I had blood clots go to both my lungs, caused a stress heart attack, and an emergency room. But I'm on blood thinners, but I haven't been taking my blood thinners. So I could get another clot, especially when I'm not moving around that much and I'm not getting enough liquid, and so I'm dehydrating, which makes your blood thicker.
So what is your plan walking out of this building? What is your plan? from this point forward? What are you planning?
I tell you,
Tell me, because, you know,
Friday night in Michigan City
you going to the game?
is all-you-can-eat walleye at Knuckleheads. Starts at 4 p.m.
Is it scary?
That's where you're going?
That's to go there. I'd have to get all my stuff, and I have to go and get a shower, and then I'd have to try to go there without people forming outside. Because I can tell you the whole way here, I went down 11th Street, you know how it's all torn up, and everyone's yelling all this stuff about John Hallett. That guy yelled, "Oh, I heard he can bang. Well, you can hold him down. I can do this to him." And then I walked down to the next block, and then they're saying, "Oh, the kids are screaming. It's John Hallett." Then going block by block, so they went down that 11th Street.
Are you going back to Washington?
No. Oh.
Where's your medication?
It's in my bags.
Okay, you'll be able to get that. So
Also-
that's important for you to take.
Yes. Also, right now, the first thing I should do, I'm probably not going to do this, but I need to send an email of intent to move out to the to the property manager at my apartment, and then contact the Bellingham Housing Authority so that I can get officially moved out without an eviction notice, and which would allow me to continue to keep my housing choice voucher. And then I could, but one thing I haven't asked her about was the portability, if I can get that moved out of Bellingham to another.
But I'll be honest, I don't know how much traction you're going to get here because everybody knows what's going on with Paul
Traction.
as far as where you're going to stay.
Oh, no, I don't have any, so I just told you this is what I planned on today. But
That's fine. Here's what I was getting at is how am I going to be able to get in touch with you?
my phone, you can
Your
call me at
phone.
any time.
Before remind me what that number is again.
219.
I know I've written it down a couple times, but let's just be safe.
In the end, justice arrived late but certain. John Hallett received 56 years in prison. But somewhere, in some landfills, lie the remains of a man whose only crime was accepting shelter from strangers. A man whose name barely appears in the court records, known primarily as what he became, a victim, a roommate, a secret kept for 5 long years until conscience, or perhaps something else entirely, compelled his killer to speak.